3, 7, and 1 mark into this state championship game. Before we do that, though, we'll pause for these messages from your local station. This is the OHSAA State Baseball Tournament.
EA Graphics is the official state tournament merchandise partner of the Ohio High School Athletic Association. EA Graphics is on-site at OHSAA tournament contests with t-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, and many other apparel items. And it doesn't end when the tournament is over. Check out OHSAA tournament merchandise online at shopohsaa.com. That's shopohsaa.com. EA Graphics and the OHSAA. Wear a piece of history.
The game is over, but this time, instead of asking how many goals did you score or what were your stats, try asking these questions. Were you a good teammate? Were you coachable? Did you give 100%? And did you have fun? Because those are the values that school sports instill in Ohio's young people, where winning and losing are secondary to the life lessons that will stay with kids long after their playing days are over. This is the Ohio High School Athletic Association. Educate through sports.
School sports are played by humans, coached by humans, and officiated by humans. So the next time you're sitting in the stands at a school athletic event, please remember this and maintain your humanity, especially when it comes to judging and critiquing athletes, coaches, and officials. Please show your fellow humans some respect. They'll appreciate your empathy.
This message presented by the OHSAA and the Ohio Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Hey, Dad.
Yeah.
You remember that ball game we went to a couple years ago?
Sure.
And how you didn't have enough cash for 2 hot dogs, so you walked with me on your shoulders until we found an ATM? And then when we got back to our seats, we never saw the hot dog guy again.
Well, I don't remember all that.
Yeah, that was an awesome game.
You never know which moments will be the ones they'll remember forever, so take time to be a dad today. Learn more at 1-877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov.
Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Olentangy and Springboro getting set to meet for the Division I Baseball State Championship. As we welcome you back to Canal Park in downtown Akron, Marty Bannister, Dave Sacuti, Tim Alcorn, and we're glad to have you with us for this matchup. Olentangy comes in off of their semifinal win yesterday by the count of 3-1 over Lakota West. We talked a lot about how that first game, Dave Sacuti, was such a well-played baseball game. The Olentangy win over Lakota West also falls into that category.
Yeah, no question, Marty. And when we think about the Braves, 3 things stand out to me. And again, their pitching has been excellent. We saw last night Rocco Bucci go all the way with that win. They're hitting, but what's really impressive about it is the run game. They will put a lot of pressure on the defense, and that's something that we always talk about. Make the other team make plays and see if they can do it.
Olentangy pounded out 8 hits off Lakota West pitching in that semifinal victory, but it was, again, as Dave mentioned, the pitching and the defense as we go down and check in again with Tim Alcorn. A number of huge plays in both of those games yesterday saved both of these teams to make this championship game.
No, that's a great point, Marty. And when you look at this Olentangy team, man, I'm right in front of their dugout. This is a confident baseball team. We were talking yesterday about the fact that perhaps a lot of folks didn't expect them to be playing in this state championship game here at Canal Park, but they've made it, and they feel they've earned their right to play for a state title. And as I look at the faces of the guys as they get ready to be introduced to the crowd, they're confident, they're ready. They feel like, hey, we've earned our way here, and we deserve our first state title.
Yeah, great thoughts there, Tim. And I think the other thing that, to me, they're a mature team, and that goes back to probably the interview you did with Rocco Bucci after the game. A sophomore, he sounded like he was a collegiate player. He had that kind of talk that this team is mature and they're ready for this caliber of play.
A lot of yes, sir, thank you, sir, no, sir, in his interview with Tim Alcorn. Very, very impressive from Rocco Bucci. The Olentangy Braves come into this game having won 15 of their last 16, and there's a tie in that stretch as well, too. Yes, they did have a tie on their ledger this year, a 2-2 9-inning tie with one of their district rivals, Olentangy Berlin. They have tossed 8 shutouts this season. Cameron Burge, a senior right-hander, gets the baseball today in this title game. He's 4-3, a 2.73 earned run average. He's allowed 30 hits and 46 innings of work. He struck out 42, a great strikeout to walk ratio, 42-13. This is his 11th appearance of the season, his 11th start. Opponents are hitting just 183 off of the senior right-hander Cameron Burge as we come into this state championship game. Olentangy 23-7-1 and Springboro at 25-7 entering this title game. Let's check the starting lineups for you in this game. First, for the visiting team, that will be the Panthers of Springboro. Their lineup goes this way. Leading off and playing shortstop will be Micah Brandon, a senior, hitting .345. Ben Velletian, the third baseman, hits out of the two spot. He's a junior, .388 the batting average. Jacob Caines in left field, the senior, hits .309. Nick Hutchinson, the designated hitter, will bat cleanup. Hutchinson hitting .395. And the catcher, Blake Patterson, and we talked about defense, and he flashed some serious leather in that semifinal win yesterday. Patterson, a junior, hitting .286. He'll bat out of the 5-hole. Adam Smith will be in right field and hit sixth, hitting .326. The pitcher yesterday will be at second base today, Colton Mullenkamp, the senior, hitting .241, no homers and 7 runs batted. And speaking of great defensive plays, the 8-hole hitter is the first baseman, Drew Davis. And Dave, he made a play yesterday that really saved the Panthers' bacon.
Yeah, we talked about that. That was a game changer, no question about it. But again, that's a young man that really has developed. And when we talk to their coaching staff, they talk about his development as a player and as an individual.
He snared a line drive with 2 on when 1 down. That resulted in a double play that snuffed out a Perrysburg rally late in that game yesterday. A ball laced by Tyler Palmer, the then pitcher for Perrysburg in that game. Batting ninth will be the center fielder, Vince Fortcamp. For the Olentangy Braves, leading off and playing shortstop will be Carter Heyer, a senior, hitting .333. The left fielder today will be yesterday's starting and winning pitcher, Rocco Bucci. Sophomore is hitting .317. Second baseman, Cooper Tracy, bats out of the 3-hole. He's hitting .317. Cameron Burge will pitch today. He'll also carry the DH label with him. The senior hitting .357. Dominic Peroni bats out of the 5 spot and plays right field. He's hitting .370. Luke Chalicki, the first baseman, hits sixth. The bottom third of the Braves batting order, the center fielder, Caden Gebhardt, who's an outstanding football talent. He's headed to play at Clemson. He's a linebacker. Caleb Rice will catch and bat eighth. And the third baseman, Ty Walburn, hits out of the 9-hole. Walburn hitting .314 on the season coming into this state championship game. The Braves are coached by Ryan Lucas. He's in his 13th year. He is a graduate of Xavier, 222 wins, 119 defeats. And Mark Pelfrey coaches the Springboro Panthers. Today, it will be career win number 600 for Mark Pelfrey. At Springboro, he has won 568 games. For the Panthers, this is their first ever appearance in a state championship game. For Olentangy, this is their second ever appearance in a state title game. They reached the title game in 2006 and came up short in that game. Springboro, members of the Greater Western Ohio Conference. The school's located in Warren County between Cincinnati and Dayton. Olentangy's in the Ohio Capital Conference. The school located between Columbus and Delaware, just off of Route 23, as you move up and down the Franklin, Delaware County area in central Ohio. Great day for baseball here. It's overcast, a little windy, but comfortable. No threat of rain whatsoever. And we are moments away from baseball here today at Canal Park here in Akron for this Division I state championship game. The home plate umpire is David Henry. The first base umpire will be John Nicholas. The second base umpire is Robert Ziffel. And the third base umpire will be Mark Blackjack as we get ready for this one here today. Olentangy, the home team. They are lined up on the third base dugout side of the field. Springboro, the visiting team, they are in the first base visiting dugout. As we get ready for pitch number 1, we will pause and listen in with the utmost pride here at Canal Park in Akron to the playing and singing of our national anthem.
As we honor America and those who have served or are serving our country to support our freedom at home and abroad with the playing of our national anthem, the Star-Spangled Banner.
Olentangy and Springboro. It's the Division I Baseball State Championship game. It comes your way next. Happy Father's Day as well to all of our dads out there who are checking out this broadcast and just dads everywhere. First, we'll pause for these messages from the Ohio High School Athletic Association. This is the state baseball tournament on the NFHS Network and the OHSA Radio Network, brought to you by Chocolate Milk.
What does it mean to live here, serve here in the Ohio Army National Guard?
It means I can attend college full-time and not have to take out student loans to pay for my tuition.
It means I can work my civilian job during the week and support my state and nation in times of need.
You too can live here, serve here as a member of the Ohio Army National Guard. Learn more about part-time service with full-time benefits at nationalguard.com/OH. Sponsored by the Ohio Army National Guard in coordination with the Ohio Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Welcome to today's game. This is Paul Keels, and you know how much I love broadcasting the Buckeyes, but I also love high school sports. On behalf of the OHSAA, let's all do our part to set a good example and make this a fun and safe experience for the kids involved. I know this game means so much to the players, coaches, and fans, but high school sports are about much more than the wins and losses. They teach life lessons that will be with the players long after their playing days are over. Good luck to both teams, and remember to respect the game.
The following is a broadcast presentation of the Ohio High School Athletic Association.
This was slated to have been the last game of the baseball season, but because of some of the rough weather we've had here in Akron over the last couple of days, still one more to come tonight. The Division V championship game will come your way as David Wilson and Jeff Kurtz will be in to describe all the action of that one for that exciting, now what will be the finale to the high school baseball season here today in Ohio. Olentangy and Springboro getting set to meet, though, here for the Division I championship. The big schools get the big stage here for this championship game. Springboro wearing the road Carolina blue jerseys, uniform pants and tops with white trim lettering and numerals. Olentangy in the home dark blue jersey tops with gold trim lettering and numerals, white uniform pants. Senior right-hander Cameron Birch gets the baseball as we get ready for this Division I championship game. 337 down the left field line, 331 down the right field line, 400 to center field here at beautiful Canal Park in downtown Akron, Ohio. Great to have you with us as we bring you the Division I state championship game. Springboro at the plate, Micah Brandon, the shortstop, to get it started from the right side of the plate. Senior swings at the first pitch and fouls it off the facing of the suite level here at Canal Park, and we're underway.
One thing about Cameron Birch, you're going to see a couple key pitches that he'll have. More off-speed. He can throw it at 85 when he needs to, but you'll see a lot of off-speed pitching from this young man.
Good fastball right there that Brandon swings right through. It's quickly no balls and 2 strikes. Brandon, 345, no homers, 16 runs batted in. Had a hit yesterday in the semis and knocked in a run as that bat arched over that right shoulder. The 0-2 pitch. That one misses low, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Let's set the Olentangy defense for you. The third baseman is Ty Walburn. The shortstop is Carter Heyer. Cooper Tracy, whose dad Andy is here, the manager of the Columbus Clippers, watching the game. Luke Chalicki's at first base. Rocco Bucci's in left. Caden Gebhardt in center. Dominic Peroni is over in right. The 1-2 pitch sails a bit high. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Micah Brandon. From the stretch, the pause in the pitch. This one also fouled back and out of play. Sunshine breaking through some of the high clouds here. Temperature in the upper 70s, just creeping into the low 80s today. Saw OHSA Executive Director Doug Ute prior to the game, and the first thing he said to me was, no rain. 2-2 pitch is hit off the inside of the bat to the right field side. The second baseman, Cooper Tracy, drifts back but gives way to Peroni, the right fielder, who comes in to make the catch. First out, top of the first, 1 down. Here's Ben Valentien, the third baseman.
Well, the one thing we always talk about, Marty, just from a pitching standpoint, just try to stay ahead of the batters. You're in a championship game. The worst thing you can do is not let your defense be out there and let them be active. Let them be involved in the game. Both of these teams, the backbone of these two teams is their defense.
Both teams did commit an error in the game in their semifinal wins yesterday. Valentien, 388, a homer, 28 batted in. 1 for 3 yesterday, scored a run, knocked in a run, swings from the right side of the plate. The right-hander Birch delivers, and this pitch is lofted foul territory into the seats behind the first base dugout on the right field side, 0-1. Mark Pelfrey, an Ohio University graduate in his 32nd year coaching baseball at Springboro, and as mentioned, yesterday's semifinal win, his 599th of his coaching career. Next pitch is also fouled, almost to the identical spot as the last one. No balls and 2 strikes to Valentien, with the left fielder Jacob Kane waiting on deck.
One thing that's noticeable, obviously, with Cameron Birch, he works out of the stretch position, almost like if there's players on the base paths. It seems a lot more comfortable there in terms of what his delivery looks like.
0-2 pitch, misses high, 1 ball, 2 strikes. We see so much of that these days, Dave, out of pitchers.
Yeah, pitchers kind of get in the habit of just something they feel comfortable with. They get a little more rotation with their shoulders once they get set in that position.
1-2 pitch is lofted into right field near the line, racing over and laying out for it was Peroni, but the ball's a foul ball. He laid out for that one. Good effort down there, but it ends up being nothing more than a foul ball, so the count will hold at 1 ball, 2 strikes.
You know, I found it interesting when we talked to Coach Lucas. He talked about the offseason. He talked about an arm care program, ARM, working on their arms during the course of the offseason. Not just pitchers, but the entire roster, just making sure. We know how important baseball is in terms of throwing and catching, but the throwing part is something he wanted to make sure that offseason really put some emphasis on that area.
Counts 1 ball, 2 strikes to the third baseman, Ben Valentien, as we play here in the top half of the first in the Division I state championship game. Birch from the stretch, the pitch. That one bounces to the plate, and the count goes level at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Natural grass surface here at Akron's Canal Park, and you've got to give the grounds crew here some serious props for their effort to keep this field playable and ready to go. We had just rough weather late Friday, Saturday. Next pitch is hit off the fist, back to the pitcher on a big hop. Birch will make the pickup and lob a throw over the first base. 1-3 on the putout, 2 are down, and that'll bring up the left fielder, Jacob Kane. Kane hitting .309. He's a senior. He'll swing the bat from the left side of the plate. That pitch right in on the hands, Dave. You talked a lot about this yesterday, not allowing these big hitters to get their arms extended.
Yeah, that's always important. Again, you know, the one thing you see most of these pitchers nowadays have is a lot of movement on their balls. In other words, it's going to move. It's going to get into your handle a little bit, your hands, not to be able to get that extension that all the great hitters like to have.
First pitch is low, but Kane took a hack at it. Comes up empty. It's 0-1. .309, a couple of homers, 28 batted in for Kane. Yesterday he had 3 hits, knocked in a run, as Springboro beat Dave Hall's Perrysburg team. We were talking during our broadcast yesterday down at Thurman Munson Stadium about the resumes of these coaches. We mentioned a chance at win career number 600 for Mark Pelfrey today. Ryan Lucas has 222 wins. Dave Hall over 700 wins. Coach Geschwind at Lakota West in their Hall of Fame with a number of wins in his career. It's a pretty impressive group. Next pitch is fouled back and out of play. It's 0-2. Kane steps back in. Red barrel of the bat arched over the left shoulder. Birch glances out at his left fielder, Bucci, to make sure he is set. The pause. Here comes the 0-2. This one is in the dirt. He swung at it and might have got just a piece of it to stay alive. The count holds at 0 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, one thing Kane can do, he can really move the ball. Got great hands, great position with the bat. Leads this team in RBIs. He had 28 going into last night's game. Picked up 1 more, so he's at 29 for the season.
Here's the 0-2 pitch. This one up tight. He took a big hack at that pitch that was in his eyes, and he comes up empty. Strikes out swinging, and Springboro goes down 1-2-3 in their first visit with Cameron Birch. Olentangy coming to the plate when we return. This is the Division I state championship game. We'll pause for these messages from the OHSAA. This is the state baseball tournament on the NFHS network and the OHSAA radio network, brought to you by Chocolate Milk.
Telhio Credit Union knows the financial playing field is constantly changing, so we're here to make sure you are always one step ahead. A trusted partner since 1934, Telhio has been providing financial services to communities throughout Ohio and is dedicated to serving its members as a not-for-profit institution. Telhio is committed to giving back to the community by offering financial education, sponsoring local events, and supporting charitable organizations. At Telhio, we take banking personally. Visit us at telhio.org.
Here's to the ones who put in the work, the no days off, rise and grind warriors who live by the oath of my body is my temple. And when their temple needs to rebuild after a long workout, athletes of all types choose low-fat chocolate milk. It's delicious and contains the right mix of protein and carbs to help refuel exhausted muscles. Chocolate milk turns Motivation Monday into Flex Friday. Crush your goals with the help of a real recovery drink. Try it for yourself. Built with chocolate milk. The official beverage of high school sports is brought to you by the American Dairy Association Mideast.
You're listening to the State Championship High School Baseball Tournament on the Ohio High School Athletic Association Radio Network.
7-game winner, sophomore Dylan Brapston, the baseball for the Panthers of Springboro to face Olentangy. He's 7-1, 46 2/3 innings this year. He's allowed 52 hits, 19 earned runs, has struck out 29, walked 11, making his ninth start of the campaign, a 2.85 earned run average. We saw Colt Mullenkamp pitch very well yesterday in the semifinal win for Springboro. He went 7 innings. And, Dave, I know there was a lot to like about his effort yesterday, and they're hoping for the same thing out of Brapston today.
Yeah, they're going to need a good effort from him, obviously. He's got plenty of experience being a senior, obviously, and 7-1 overall record. Just a solid player. And it's funny because when you look at what we saw from Mullenkamp last night, his delivery, and then you look at here at Brapston, it's very similar. So you know from a coaching perspective, there's been some training going on in terms of positioning of hands, shoulders, and arms.
Here's the shortstop, Carter Heyer, to get it started for the Olentangy Braves. Right-handed hitting leadoff hitter, a senior. 333, no homers, 16 runs batted in. And Brapston delivers. The first pitch bounces to the plate. Ball 1 to Carter Heyer. In the semis yesterday, Heyer went 1 for 4. Batting also out of that leadoff spot, Carter Heyer, Rocco Bucci, Cooper Tracy to get it started for the Olentangy Braves. Next pitch misses outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Again, Olentangy located in Delaware County, north of Columbus. 701 boys in their adjusted enrollment. Next pitch is a called strike. It is one of the largest school districts. In fact, the Olentangy School District, the 4th largest in the state of Ohio. 2-1 delivery. This one is ripped right at the shortstop, Micah Brandon. One shortstop lines out to the other. In the bottom half of the first inning, 1 down. Here's Rocco Bucci. Ball had some smoke on it, but it was hit right at Micah Brandon on a line. And here's the left-handed hitting left fielder, Rocco Bucci.
He was impressive yesterday in the semifinal win. Bucci, again, we talked about just being a young player, but, you know, he's going to be looked at by a lot of collegiate universities in terms of what they're going to try to find. Doesn't have great size in terms of his height, but a strong, well-built young man at the plate.
Bucci hitting .317, a couple of homers. He's knocked in 18. He did swing the bat yesterday, went 1 for 2 with a walk. And is ahead in the count here quickly, 2 balls and no strikes. Cooper Tracy will be next. Brapston ready. Here is the 2-0 pitch. This one is fouled to the backstop netting. 2 balls and a strike. The Springboro defense, Ben Velatien's at third, Micah Brandon at short, Colton Mullenkamp operates at second base. Drew Davis, as we talked about, had a big day defensively yesterday. He has first base. 2-1 pitch is lined up the middle and will scoot comfortably into center field for the game's first hit. That'll bring up the second baseman, Cooper Tracy. Rocco Bucci going with the pitch, and a nice job of hitting right there. And here's Cooper Tracy, the second baseman.
And Bucci will put a little pressure on you at first base in terms of his speed as well. He's got 10 stolen bases this season, but he can fly. He's got great timing in terms of his first step.
Tracy from the left side of the plate hits .317. No homers, 10 batted in. First pitch sails high and wide of the plate to the left-handed hitting Tracy. The remainder of the Springboro defense, the outfield, left, center, and right, respectively. Jacob Kane, Vince Fortcamp, and Adrian Smith. Throw to first and the runner back. I believe I said Adrian Smith. My apologies. Adam Smith is the right fielder. Next pitch is popped up left field. Jacob Kane coming in. The wind pushing it, but he's able to get there in plenty of time to make the catch. There are 2 outs now for Olentangy here in the bottom half of the first inning. That'll bring up the pitcher, Cameron Birch. Wind is pushing out towards left, and Kane had to navigate that to get over to that ball. Birch, right-handed hitter. 357 for the senior, has a pair of home runs this season, 19 runs batted in. Third baseman Belletien is in. Runner on the move. Here's the pitch. It's high. The throw by the catcher is wide of the bag, and easily stealing second base is Rocco Bucci. Count is 1-0 to Cameron Birch. Dave talked about it. Bucci with some good speed right there. He got a good jump on that. Here's the 1-0. That's a called strike. It's a ball and strike to Birch.
Yeah, that's that all speed there at 66 miles per hour. You're going to see a lot of that here this afternoon from this young man on the mound.
Springboro with the blue caps, the block S on the front of the caps above the bill. The next pitch, this is a bit low. And it's a ball, 2 balls and a strike now to Cameron Birch. Dominic Peroni, the right fielder, would be next if the inning stays alive. One down here, bottom of the first, scoreless game. Bucci on out at second base after delivering a single back up the middle in his at-bat. The pause, the 2-1. This one is chopped out towards third. In between hop, knocked down by Belletien, who won't have a play, though, anywhere, and all hands are safe. Ball took a little in-between hop on the third baseman who was coming in, and the better part of Valor right there just hung on to the baseball.
Yeah, tough play for the third baseman there. The ball just kind of took a quirky little hop right there. We talked about it last night a little bit, Marty. Last night, of course, they played on artificial turf. The ball moves a whole lot different on that infield versus what you're going to see here on natural grass.
Here's Peroni, the right fielder. 370, no homers, 19 runs batted in. From the right side of the plate in the first pitch. In tight and has him backing out of the way. Tim Alcorn's in the dugout for us. Tim, we talked a lot about that yesterday down at Thurman Munson Stadium, and Dave hit it right on the head, didn't he? The ball just takes a different role from field turf to natural grass.
Yeah, there was no true hop right there. In fact, the third baseman tried to field it before the short hop.
Here's a pitch lined into left field for a base hit. Bucci will scamper home with the game's first run, and Olentangy jumps on top 1-0 here in the bottom of the first. Solidly hit ball to left field by the right fielder. Peroni, his 20th run batted in. Olentangy leads 1-0. That'll bring up Luke Chalicki, the first baseman. 243, senior right-hander. Right-handed hitter. No homers, 11 batted in. 1-0 Olentangy on top. Next pitch, this one is lofted into center field, and it will fall in front of Vince Fortkamp. Rounding second, chugging towards the plate. The throw is cut off, and sliding in safely with the second Braves run is Cameron Birch. And the Braves are on top 2-0.
Well, this has been the trend for the Olentangy Braves. First inning, second inning, they like to get off to a great start. They'll stay aggressive. You got to make sure in terms of the pitching situation here that you make sure you keep it out of their positioning in terms of them moving the ball forward, because they can really get it on a groove.
Olentangy had 8 hits in the game yesterday. They've got half that right here in the bottom of the first. They lead 2-0. Here is Caden Gebhardt, the center fielder, and he bats at the right side of the plate. The first pitch from Brapston is a called strike on the outside corner. Gebhardt, 388. No homers, 11 runs batted in. So Olentangy has dented the scoreboard first. They've tossed up a crooked number here in the bottom of the first. 0-1 pitch. That hit the outside corner. No balls and 2 strikes. Gebhardt yesterday 0 for 3. Struck out once. Brapston trying to slam the door on this rally right here. Here's the 0-2 delivery. Sails high. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Olentangy has been on a roll. They have won 15 of 16 games coming into this. Have the Braves. There is some activity already in the Springboro bullpen. Here's the 2-0 delivery. This one is hit slowly out towards the shortstop, Brandon. He'll flip to second for Mullenkamp, covered for the force, and that takes care of Olentangy in the bottom half of the first. But the Braves put a couple of runs on the board. They get 4 hits and leave a runner on. We go to the second inning. Olentangy 2, Springboro nothing in the Division I state championship game. Let's pause for these messages from your local station. This is the OHSAA State Baseball Tournament.
The year was 1907. The Cubs won the World Series and the Ford Model R hit the assembly line. While here in Ohio, school administrators came together to form the Ohio High School Athletic Association. One thing that hasn't changed since 1907 is the dedication of the OHSAA to education-based athletics in Ohio. School sports teach responsibility, sportsmanship, and life lessons that stay with students long after their playing days are over. The OHSAA seeks to prepare students not for the next level of sport, but for the next level of life. Hey, sports fan! Did you know the OHSAA is among the national leaders in social media? Check out the OHSAA's social media platforms for news, tournament information, accomplishments, helpful links, and all the items available in the fan guide, including photos, DVDs, and publications. Check out OHSAA Sports on Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, and Instagram. And who knows, you may be the next featured face.
2-0, the Olentangy lead over Springboro. We go to the top half of the second inning here at Canal Park in Akron in our Division I state championship game. To get things started for the Panthers, it will be the cleanup hitter, the designated hitter, Nick Hutchison. Hutchinson hitting .395, the catcher, Blake Patterson, and the right fielder, Adam Smith. Hutchinson, .395's got a team best 5 home runs on the season. Springboro as a team has hit 9 this year. First pitch from the right-hander Birch goes off speed for a called strike. Birch, 85 to 88 mile an hour. He's committed to play at Marietta. Next pitch is hit into foul territory, back into the seats. No balls and 2 strikes. Good curveball and a changeup. Ryan Lucas says one of the things he really loves about Birch is his ability to compete on the mound. And we heard the term, he's a dog out there on the mound yesterday. You got to have some of that.
Oh, yeah. Some toughness, some mental toughness, and you got to be able to kind of get through some tough innings at times.
0-2 pitch, foul to the backstop. We're in the top of the second. Olentangy puts 2 on the board in the bottom half of the first and leads Springboro 2-0. Birch from the stretch, the 0-2 delivery, breaking ball that just missed. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Birch is committed to play at Marietta. Cooper Tracy to Adrian College in Michigan, where he will play both baseball and football. 1-2 delivery is lined right at the Olentangy first baseman, Chalicki, who catches it on a line, 1 out. That'll bring up the catcher, Blake Patterson. Before he steps in, let's step out, allow stations to identify themselves on the OHSAA radio network. At the plate, catcher Blake Patterson hits .286. The junior swings from the right side of the plate. First pitch misses for a ball. He's had a good season at the dish. No homers, 15 runs batted in, but it's his efforts behind the dish that have been really impressive. And, boy, Dave, we saw him yesterday just really take charge of that game a lot of times defensively.
Yeah, we talked about it, Marty, his command that he has behind the plate as the catcher. And we talked about it last night. He had a couple conversations with some players during the course of that difficult inning they had, but they got out of it. But I think Blake Patterson had a lot to do with that in terms of his demeanor and how he's going to get his guys, especially the pitchers, calmed down.
Counts 2 balls and a strike to the junior catcher. The next pitch sails high, 3-1. The one play that really stood out to me was a ball that was chopped out in front of the plate. He got there in an absolute hurry and had to make a tough play, but threw a seed to the first baseman covering for a putout. 3-1 pitch, swing and a miss at a fastball. It's counts full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. It may sound like it was an easy play, but it really wasn't.
No, those plays are tough. You think about it, you're in a crouch position. You got to get out there. You got to make the transfer out of the glove and throw a bullet, as you mentioned, to first base. A tough play.
3-2 pitch is fouled to the backstop. Wears lucky 13 on the back of his Springboro Carolina, Kansas City Royal blue jersey. Payoff pitch, foul to the backstop. We never talked about it on Friday, but Friday was the 13th. Triskaidekaphobia, is that what that's called?
I don't know. Only guys like you kind of get those thought
Okay,
processes.
you're going to blame that on me. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Here's the payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Patterson strikes out. 2 are out here in the top half of the second inning. That'll bring up the right fielder, Adam Smith. Maybe that's why it rained on Friday, because it was the 13th.
Okay.
Adam Smith, senior, hitting .326. 1 for 1 yesterday. Walked a couple of times and scored 2 of the 5 Panthers runs. Has 26 runs batted in. Has that bat arched over that right shoulder. Wide stance at the plate. And the first pitch misses outside for a ball. Springboro in the tournament defeated Springfield, Lakota East, Beaver Creek, and perennial state contender Mason in the regional final to get to the state tournament. And then yesterday, as the next pitch is a called strike, beat Perrysburg 5-1. It's a ball and a strike.
Yeah, you know the Panthers during the course of the season, especially in the playoff, they were a run or 2 away from falling out of the playoffs in a hurry. But, they found ways, and that's what you got to do. Good teams find ways to win.
Absolutely. Next pitch misses outside. It's 2 balls and a strike now. Olentangy has defeated Reynoldsburg, Hilliard-Davidson, their district rival, Olentangy Berlin, and Grove City. Next pitch sails high. It's 3-1. And then yesterday, of course, beating Lakota West. 2 are out here, top of the second. Springboro at bat, trailing Olentangy 2-0. It's the Division I championship game. 3-1 pitch. Hit the inside corner for a called strike. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Adam Smith, the right-handed hitting Springboro right fielder.
That was about the highest speed we've seen thus far from our guy on the mound right now. That one came in at 82 miles per hour.
Next pitch is fouled to the backstop netting. Count holds at 3 balls and 2 strikes. He got a mile per hour better on that one, Dave. That came in at 83.
He must not be listening to me up here. You don't listen to me. He's not listening. Who's listening?
Does that mean I have to? Next pitch is fouled at the plate, and the count runs full. And holds it full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Mark Pelfrey, Springboro's head coach, has been there for 32 years coaching baseball at Springboro. Member of a number of Hall of Fames, including the OHSAA, Ohio High School Baseball Coaches Association Hall of Fame. Next pitch misses outside. Ball 4, Adam Smith draws a 2-out walk. That'll bring up Colton Mullenkamp, the second baseman. 241 for Mullenkamp. No homers and 7 runs batted in, but where he dominates is on the mound. He won his 9th game of the season yesterday in the semifinals. Pelfrey has worked with the Southwest Ohio Baseball Coaches Association, the Miami Valley Baseball Coaches Association, 8 times Coach of the Year at the Greater Western Ohio Conference, and the Miami Valley Baseball Coaches Association Coach of the Year 3 times. A glittering career for Mark Pelfrey. No balls and a strike to Colton Mullenkamp. Birch will throw to first and the runner back. Olentangy's team ERA is 1.93. They've struck out 201 hitters coming into the tournament. Oh, 1 pitch. Good off-speed pitch. Caught the corner on the outside to the right-handed hitting Mullenkamp. No balls and 2 strikes yesterday. Olentangy pitching struck out 4 Lakota West hitters. Smith grabs his lead at first. Birch ready. Here's the 0-2 pitch. This one is fouled back and will carry off the suite level here at Canal Park in Akron. We look off to the right behind right field. You see the skyline of downtown Akron. Curving back over towards center. The old YMCA building, which towers out into the left center field area. The Akron Children's Hospital out behind left field. Next pitch just missed outside. Count goes to a ball, 2 strikes. A lot to do around downtown Akron. Perfect place for a ballpark. Lots of restaurants and entertainment venues. OHSAA and the Akron Rubber Ducks have had a very good relationship over the years and love having the games here on our back. put new video boards up here this year. They moved the scoreboard, the ribbon board, over to left field. It used to be out in right center. They have a towering video board in right field, which has the players' stats, great pictures of the student athletes. 1-2 pitch, called, third strike. Mullenkamp caught looking, and that takes care of Springboro in the top half of inning number 2. They get a walk to Adam Smith, but nothing more than that. To the bottom of the second we head with Olentangy leading Springboro 2-0 in the Division I title game. We'll pause for these messages from the OHSAA. This is the state baseball tournament on the NFHS network and the OHSAA radio network, brought to you by Chocolate Milk.
Spectrum News 1, a new kind of news channel dedicated to refreshing storytelling and empowering communities across the Buckeye State. With your local forecast every 10 minutes and all of the essential news you need 24/7. Plus, in-depth shows and exclusives focused on your community. Always Ohio, always refreshing, always on. We are Spectrum News 1, exclusively on Spectrum.
Welcome to the home of Gridiron Legends, the newly renovated Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio. Walk among the immortals of football inside the Hall of Fame gallery. Here you can stand face to face with the men who built America's game. Relive the greatest moments of Super Bowl history in the Lamar Hunt Super Bowl gallery and stand before the Vince Lombardi Trophy, while the NFL Today gallery is home to the NFL's most recent record-breaking moments. Plan your visit to the Pro Football Hall of Fame today at profootballhof.com.
You can stay in the game long after your playing days are done. Become an OHSAA contest official. Log on to ohsaa.org for more information.
2-0 the lead for Olentangy. We go to the bottom of the second. Marty Bannister, Dave Sacuti, and down in front of the Olentangy dugout is the voice of the Cleveland Cavaliers, Tim Alcorn. You're a huge high school sports fan. I know you're enjoying the heck out of this, aren't you?
Absolutely love it. This is my 6th game this weekend, and there's nothing like being in the Final Four of baseball. I mean, it's just great baseball, great competition. Man, I'm having a blast.
Caleb Rice at the plate to get things started. The Olentangy catcher swings at the first pitch and bounces it foul up the first base side. Tim, that's a great point you bring up, because that's something I think, I mean, you're an NBA play-by-play announcer. Dave and I do a lot of Division I college baseball and basketball work and football work, and all are members of our crew, but this is something we all, it's a labor of love, isn't it?
I always tell people, it's just in my DNA. I'm wired to go to a high school baseball game, to go to a high school basketball game. I call a lot of high school football in the fall before the Cavs get underway. I just love high school sports.
1-1 pitch misses low. It's 2 balls and a strike now to Caleb Rice. 265 for the senior catcher. No homers and 15 batted in. The 2-1 from Brapston is in on the fist and fouled back and out of play. The count will hold at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Olentangy dugout is about as energized a dugout as I've seen throughout the games that I've been involved with.
2-2 pitch on the fist, foul to the backstop netting. Count will hold at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
I mean, they are energized. They're clapping, they're cheering. I mean, it's a very vocal group.
Sophomore Brapston has the sign. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. This one is hit out in the air to center. Vince Fortcamp started in, goes back, then comes back in, and makes the catch for the first out here in the bottom of the second. That'll bring up the bottom of the batting order, the third baseman, Ty Walburn.
You know, the Braves, Marty, I think they're really kind of tuned in to what they're looking at, and from a pitching perspective here, they've gotten good contact on a lot of balls, obviously, in the first inning, coming up with those 2 runs to take this 2-0 lead here, but it seems like their timing is really good right now.
At the plate, Ty Walburn, the third baseman. Walburn hitting .214. He's a sophomore. Yesterday had a pair of hits out of that 9-hole, scored a run. 0-1 pitch is fouled over by Tim Alcorn down along that Olentangy dugout. Way to stay out of the way of that one, Tim. Nicely done.
I may scoot back in the dugout. You know, in my younger days, I was spry, but now if I have to hurry, I simply don't go.
Here's the 1-1 delivery on the way. And on the fist, bounced out towards the shortstop, Brandon. Easy pickup, good throw. And there are 2 away here in this bottom half of the second inning. 6-3 in to put out. It takes us back to the top of the order, and the shortstop, Carter Heyer. Higher lined out to the shortstop, Micah Brandon, in his first at-bat in the bottom half of the first. 2-0 is our score. We're glad to have you with us wherever you're checking out our broadcast today. NFHS TV, OHSAA Radio Network. We have been with you all weekend long for all of the semis and the state championship games. Called strike to Carter Higher. Still one more to go. Apple Creek, Waynedale, and Graham Local from St. Paris, Ohio, and Champaign County will battle for the title. Next pitch is bounced out to the shortstop, Brandon, who's been very busy here early on. And he's able to throw out his opposite number, Carter Higher, and that takes care of Olentangy in the bottom half of the second. The Braves go 1-2-3. To the third we go. Still 2-0, Olentangy on top of Springboro in the Division I title game. We'll pause for these messages from your local station. This is the state baseball tournament.
Okay, here are 3 important reasons why your son or daughter should play a sport in high school.
Number 1.
High school sports teach valuable life lessons like self-discipline and time management skills.
2.
Teens who play a high school sport have better grade point averages.
And number 3.
High school sports are safer than ever before.
This message presented by the Ohio High School Athletic Association and the Ohio Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Man, I loved playing high school sports growing up. And it's fun being a fan now, don't get me wrong, but sitting in the stands feels like I'm missing out on all the action, you know? I wanted to get back in the game, so I signed up to be a high school official. It takes me back to my playing days. I'm supporting students, and I get paid to make the big calls. Do you want to see the game up close? Sign up to become an official in Ohio at highschoolofficials.com.
All right, gentlemen, I'm going to give you some thoughts here. I want you to think about this as we look at both these teams trying to win their first state championship. Here's what I want to ask you. What is the last time a school district has won the Big Three in football, in boys basketball, and in baseball, if Olentangy were to win this game here this afternoon? So I'm going to give you a little chance to think about that and let me know the last time or what district you might think it was.
All right, we start the top half of the third inning. Springboro at the plate. It's the first baseman, Drew Davis. Cameron Birch starts him out with a pitch that misses away for a ball. Davis, 289, senior first baseman. No homers, 13 runs batted in. Next pitch is a strike, 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, I mean, right away you would start to initially think it would be one of those Midwest Athletic Conference schools.
Well, first of all, let me tell you who did win. Olentangy Liberty, obviously, won the football.
So you're talking school district, okay.
Yeah, district. And then you got Olentangy Orange, of course, won the boys basketball. I know the answer, just so you all don't think I'm making this up. I do know the answer.
2-1 pitch in on the fifth, and it's almost golfed out into center field where Caden Gebhardt comes in and makes the easy catch, first out of the inning.
Marty, sometimes, Tim, you don't know Marty and I very well. But sometimes when we do
Here's the question,
broadcasts,
guys. Well, I don't have a clue, but you guys take your guesses.
Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah, you know.
Well, we're reasonably intelligent,
intelligent young people.
Individuals up here. We can probably figure it out. Oh, gracious. One down here at the top of the third inning. Here's the center fielder, Vince Fortcamp, batting out of the 9-hole with a very impressive .439 batting average. No homers, 14 runs batted in. Could not check his swing on the first pitch and goes around 0-1. Back foot at the back line of the batter's box. Next pitch is a called strike. It's 0-2. It didn't appeal to the Springboro fans at all right there. No balls, 2 strikes. 4 hits in this game so far. They all belong to Olentangy. Here's the 0-2. Outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. I'm going to stay with one of those Midwest Athletic Conference teams.
Yeah. My issue is when you say district, you're eliminating private and parochial schools, correct?
1-2 pitch, misses outside, 2-2.
Yeah, that kind of takes them out of the
right,
mix, obviously, unless there's...
I was thinking like a St. Ed's, okay, so you're looking at a public school district.
Well, after this batter, I'll let y'all fill you all in, so I know you're dying to hear what's going on.
Next pitch goes off the mound and scoots into center field for the first Springboro hit of the game off the bat of Vince Fortcamp. That one went right past Cameron Birch, who had fallen off to the first base side on his delivery and rolls safely into center field. First Panthers hit of the game with one down, back to the top, the shortstop Micah Brandon.
Well, just so you all know, and I did verify this with our good friend Tim Street. Tim, obviously, just give Tim some kudos for the yeoman work he has done here, not only in baseball, but all season.
So you really didn't know the answer. You had to go to Street.
I wanted to verify for you two.
Wait till I tell Tom Boshenik about this.
Micah Brandon at the plate. The shortstop takes the first pitch for a ball.
Well, anyway.
Go ahead, please, Dave.
The Braves, if they were to win this game today, this would be the first time it's ever happened, gentlemen. So,
all right.
I thought I'd at least get that out there for y'all.
Thank you so very much. 1-0 pitch, but prior to that, a throw to first.
Okay.
Runner dives
now,
back.
that is not how you framed the question.
Yeah, but you got to be tricky sometimes.
You can't say who else has done it and then go, yeah, well, nobody else has done it.
Here's the 1-0 delivery. It's a fastball. It hits the outside corner for a called strike. It's 1-1. Try and regain control of the broadcast here as we move along.
So what happens is you let me go a little bit.
You could have gone A, B, C, or nobody's ever done it. Then we would have had that option.
Runner at first and one down. Cameron Birch, senior right-hander, has given up his first hit of this game here in the top half of the third. Deals from the stretch. The 1-1 on the way. This one is lined also into center field for the second hit of the game. Back-to-back base knocks for the Springboro Panthers, and they have two runners on. And that'll bring up the third baseman, Ben Veletien. A couple of good at-bats there by hitters 9 and 1 in the Springboro lineup.
Yeah, a couple of the Panthers are timing up Cameron Birch really well right now.
Bounce back to the pitcher, his first time up, did the junior third baseman.
You know, we talked a little bit yesterday, Marty and Tim, about obviously the backgrounds are a little different, dimensions of the park are different too, but sometimes seeing the ball coming off pitcher's hand, it takes an inning or two just to get comfortable to kind of see where that's coming from. And obviously right now the Panthers seem to be kind of cued in really, really good.
Veletien has 29 runs batted in, and the first pitch misses for a ball. Springboro as a team, 341, the team batting average. And we were talking about some of those numbers yesterday in the semis that Perrysburg had thrown on the board extra base hit-wise. The Panthers have 60 total extra base hits, doubles and triples this year. Birch ready. Here's the pitch on the way. This one sails high, a fastball. It's 2 balls and no strikes. So after basically sailing through the first 2 innings, Cameron Birch, the Springboro Panthers, in their third look at him, starting to find some pitches they like. Here's the 2-0 delivery. This one is fouled off the netting of the protective screen along the first base side. 2 balls and 1 strike. He's on the season, scored double figures run-wise 9 times. Birch, a couple of glances back at second. Time is called at the plate. It's interesting when you watch Birch on the mound, even with a runner at first base when he's on the mound and no one at second, he'll glance back at second a couple of times.
He's got kind of a little herky-jerky move coming out of this rotation of the stretch right here.
Runners grab their leads. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. This one is hit, again, out of play into the seats. First base side. State baseball championships here this weekend. Last weekend, the state softball championships were staged at Firestone Stadium. Northeast Ohio playing host to the softball and baseball championships. One more game to go here today at Canal Park. Wind blowing in now in left center. Here's the 2-2 pitch, upstairs and high, and the count's run full. Now to Veletien. He's a Louisville commit. He'll be playing for that team, which is in the College World Series. Here comes the payoff pitch. Inside out swing and fouls this one again off the backstop netting. Colton Mullenkamp will be going to Muskingum. Jacob Kane is an Earlham commit. Both of these rosters stocked with college-level student athletes who are moving on to play at that next level. Time is again called at the plate. 2-0 is the score. Olentangy on top, but Springboro threatening for the first time in the game here in the top of the third. They have put consecutive runners on with base hits after a fly ball to center by Davis to start the inning. Next pitch again is line foul, and again will carry into the seats.
Yeah, great at bat here for Gephardt. Birch all the way up to 56 on his pitch count already in just two innings and a third.
That foul ball went into the area where the Graham local baseball team is sitting watching this game. Lengthy at bat here by Velatian, and he'll step out now. Junior a moment out, steps back in. Waits on the right-hander Cameron Birch. Runners at first and second. They grab their leads. Here comes the payoff delivery. Again, foul back and out of play. I think one of the things we mentioned this yesterday, Dave, I've had a lot of conversations with college hitting coaches over the years, and this tells you what kind of a hitter a guy is. He's got a .388 batting average. He continues to foul off pitches, getting good looks at everything.
Yeah, you know, even look at the professional level, how guys just learn how to get a pitch out of the strike zone and just foul it off so they can get that additional. And there's another one right there we talked about. That's a skill set that has been taught greatly here in the last 10, 15 years.
Next pitch, again, fouled off the facing of the sweet level. Full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes. The Springboro fans encouraging their offense. Base hit here would cut the lead in half if it's of the significant distance. The pitch in tight. Oh, a called third strike. Velatian started to trot towards first base and takes the pitch. It looked a tad bit high, but it is a called strike by the home plate umpire, David Henry. 2 are out. That'll bring up Jacob Kane, the left fielder. Kane also a productive bat, has 28 runs batted in. Hits .309. He struck out swinging his first time up. So Birch now an out away from getting out of some trouble here in this top of the third. And the first pitch to Kane is a called strike.
Yeah, a little off-speed pitch there. Got it up to about 80 mile an hour, though. Got good movement. If you watch his arm, he just kind of has a short arm type of release, but he's got a lot of movement on the baseball.
67th pitch about to be delivered by Cameron Birch. Here it comes. It sails high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Springboro scored twice in the bottom of the second yesterday in their victory over Perrysburg. The Fighting Yellow Jackets cut it to 2-1 in the 4th inning, but the Panthers answered with 2 in the bottom of the 5th and 1 more in the 6th to salt that victory away, trying to get on the board for the first time here today. Next pitch misses outside, 2 balls and a strike. And playing in a professional facility here. The distances are minor league and professional distances in the outfield. 400 to center, 330 down the lines. Next pitch is lined left field side and is a foul ball. Boy, that one just missed down that left field line. The third base umpire, Mark Malachak, was down there and he was eyeballing that one. Tim Alcorn, that was close down that line, wasn't it? It almost fell down there.
Sorry about that, guys. My mic was off.
That's quite all right.
So I'm trying to save the batteries. I don't want Ryan to get upset up there if I kill the batteries. It was very, very close. We tied this game. It was right on the line.
Thank you for being considerate to the engineer. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here comes the pitch. This one is lined back up the middle past the glove of the pitcher, and it will scoot into center field. That will score a run. Here comes Fortcamp on his way to the plate. He slides into the first Panthers run of the game. And on the RBI single by Jacob Kane, his 29th run batted into the season. It's 2-1 now, Olentangy.
Sometimes you just have to manufacture runs, and that's what the Panthers are doing right now. Kind of picking and choosing on what they want to do. Pushing the ball forward here. Again, trying to make teams make plays with their defense.
Micah Brandon stops at second base. Ball wasn't hit all that hard, but it was hit hard enough. And here's the cleanup hitter, Nick Hutchinson, the designated hitter. 395, 24 runs batted in. 2 are out, but 1 has scored. The first pitch is an off-speed pitch for a called strike.
Clutch hit.
Brandon at second. Kane over at first. The 0-1 pitch. That one missed away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Springboro on the season has scored 206 runs. Tack on 5 more, so make it 211, now 212 as we update the math as we go along. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Sails high, 2 balls and 1 strike.
You know, Marty Hutchinson, a junior, he was one of their top pitchers before he incurred some arm injuries, and they had to make a change in terms of positioning for him, but he was an excellent pitcher. When you talk to Mark Belfry, he was kind of looking forward to having that guy in the rotation, I'm sure.
Cameron Birch pulled the string on a breaking ball right there. Hutchinson unable to come away with it. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Catcher Blake Patterson waits on deck, hoping for an opportunity here in this top of the third. Panthers have pushed a run across. They've got a pair of hits, 2 runners on, but still trail 2-1. The next pitch, that one misses outside, and the count is now run full to Hutchinson at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Hutchinson ranked in the top 115 players of the class of 2026. As Dave was talking about, a lot of that due to his ability on the mound. Birch ready, the payoff pitch, ball 4 high. So the inning continues as Blake Patterson will stride to the dish. Micah Brandon over to third. Jacob Kane to second. Ryan Lucas pops out of the Olentangy dugout, and we're going to have some players scurrying for that right field bullpen area for Olentangy. Ohio dairy farmers would like to wish all participants good luck in today's state tournament and remind you that chocolate milk is the official beverage of the OHSAA. An 8-ounce serving of low-fat chocolate milk is a natural source of high-quality protein and 9 essential nutrients. Power your potential with chocolate milk. Springboro loading the bases here in the top half of the third after 1 run has already crossed the plate. Everett Robinson heads out towards the bullpen and enters the bullpen in right center field. Robinson will continue his athletic endeavors at Division III Power Mount Union. Right now loosening up in Ryan Lucas's bullpen out there in right center field. Brandon at third, Kane at second, Hutchison at first. Springboro, which had been held hitless going into this third inning, has tallied 3 hits, has produced 1 run. They trail 2-1. And a chance to tie or take the lead here with Patterson at the plate. Birch peering in at the signs from the catcher, Caleb Rice. Holds at the waist. Looks back at second. And the first pitch on the way to Patterson. Takes a healthy rip at it and fouls it to the backstop. Had a thrilling finish to the game just prior to ours. Berlin Highland and Lake Center Christian. And this one's shaping up to be equally as entertaining. 2-1, top of the third. Olentangy leading Springboro in the D1 title game. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. Another big rip right there by Patterson. He is not getting cheated on swings here in this at-bat.
Yeah, Birch got that by him, though, at 80 miles per hour. Kind of got it on his hands a little bit on that inside part of the plate.
Base is still full of Panthers. 2 aroused and 2 strikes to Patterson. Birch's delivery. Fastball high. Just missed. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Tough one to take right there.
Patterson's knocked in 15 runs this season. 0 for 3 yesterday. Struck out 3 times. And has struck out already today. Birch again comes set. Here's the 1-2. This one is fouled back, and again we'll carry it to the facing of the suite level here. Been some long days here at this ballpark, but fun days as far as covering high school baseball are concerned. And it all wraps up here with this championship Sunday. Birch again, ready. Here comes the 1-2 again to Patterson. That one misses outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Wind continuing to push in out there in left center field. Mix of sunshine and clouds, a little blue sky as well, too. All in all, very good Sunday for baseball on this Father's Day 2025. 2-2 pitch, struck him out swinging. That's the 5th time in the tournament that Blake Patterson has struck out swinging, and that takes care of Springboro here in the top half of the 3rd. But they cut into the Olentangy lead. They cut it in half. They get a run, and 3 hits and leave 3 runners on. We go to the bottom of the 3rd, 2-1 Olentangy over Springboro. We'll pause for these messages from the OHSAA. This is the state baseball tournament on the NFHS Network and the OHSAA Radio Network, brought to you by Chocolate Milk.
Looking to launch a career in the skilled trades but don't know where to begin? Part-time service in the Ohio Army National Guard can help. You can kickstart your career by enlisting in one of our many trades-based jobs. Get paid to learn these skills and gain on-the-job training when you report to your unit 1 weekend a month or 2 weeks in the summer. To learn how the Guard can pay for your civilian trade certification, visit nationalguard.com/OH. Sponsored by the Ohio Army National Guard in coordination with the Ohio Association of Broadcasters and this station.
For the players on the court, cheerleaders on the sideline, and fans in the stands, Varsity Brands is a national leader in team athletic gear, school spirit, and championship memorabilia. Recognized and endorsed by the Ohio High School Athletic Association, Varsity Brands partners with schools, coaches, and students to build school pride and student engagement. Visit varsitybrands.com for more information. Varsity Brands, elevating student experiences.
Get state tournament photos, programs, apparel, DVDs, and more in the OHSAA Fan Guide. Find it at ohsaa.org.
Bottom half of the 3rd, Olentangy 2, Springboro 1, our Division I state championship game. Left fielder Rocco Bucci, the second baseman Cooper Tracy, and the pitcher Cameron Birch, the scheduled hitters for Ryan Lucas's Olentangy Braves, trying to win the school's first baseball state championship. They have 4 hits in the game, but they all came in the run-scoring bottom of the 1st.
Both of these coaches have got their bullpen activity going. But both these coaches have
Dylan Brabston, sophomore right-hander. Will face Rocco Bucci to get it started. Brabston has thrown 32 pitches. Has not walked a batter, nor has he struck out a Olentangy Brave. And here's Bucci, who had a single back up the middle his first time up and scored the first of the 2 Olentangy runs. And the first delivery here is hit back up the middle off the glove of the pitcher Brabston, who knocks the ball down, picks the ball up, goes halfway between first and second, or first, the mound and first, rather, and underhand tosses to Drew Davis to record the putout.
Yeah, nice little maneuver there by Brabston. Again, you got to feel your position, especially on the pitcher's mound. Ball comes back at you in a hurry there, but he did a nice job securing that ball and making for that pitch, little underhand pitch for the first baseman.
1 down. Here's the second baseman, Cooper Tracy. Fly ball to left his first time up. Squares to bunt, pulls back, and the pitch misses outside with the third baseman, Velatien, charging down the line.
Thought Brabston did a nice job in that last inning. 1, 2, 3. Got him out of that. Had a little rough go there in the first inning, but surely has settled in here in this game.
1-0 pitch is fouled to the Olentangy side of the field. 1 ball, 1 strike. And you look at his numbers right now, I mean, he's thrown just 33 pitches, but you'd have to think the vast majority of those came in that bottom of the first inning. Next pitch misses for a ball. It's 2-1. Two the count now as the pitch to Cooper Tracy is a called strike. His dad, Andy, the manager of the Columbus Clippers, in attendance. Nice of the Clippers to give Dad some time off, especially on Father's Day, to watch his son play in a state championship game. Next pitch bounced out towards second where it's scooped up by Mullenkamp. Nice, easy play. Low throw, dug out nicely by Drew Davis. We talked about flashing some leather. Drew Davis has done that in this tournament. Olentangy's first base coach is questioning the call of John Miklas down there at first base. But it looked like Davis did a very good job of, number one, keeping his foot on the bag. Number two, is scooping that low throw in. So 2 are out quickly. And that brings up Cameron Birch, the pitcher and cleanup hitter. And the first pitch to Birch is a strike. Birch singled his first time up. 357, the impressive average he brings with him to the plate. Next pitch is a called strike, and it's quickly 0-2. Birch, a moment out, looks over at his teammates in the third base dugout as if to say, guys, was that really a strike? Climbs back in, bat level over that right shoulder, waits on the right-hander, and the 0-2 pitch sails over the head of Birch and bounces off the facing of the backstop. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Brapston ready, the 1-2 pitch, off speed, and Birch got just a piece of it to stay alive. The count will hold it a ball, 2 strikes. Olentangy team and program, one of 4 schools in that rapidly growing district. Olentangy Berlin, Olentangy Orange, Olentangy Liberty. All those schools had a chance to get this far. Next pitch bounced out towards short where Micah Brandon had to go right through the wickets. And Birch will reach first base safely. That was a playable ball, but Brandon just unable to cleanly field it, went between his legs and rolled a couple of feet behind him. So a 2-out base runner as Birch reaches on the air by the shortstop. Sometimes the easiest plays are the hardest ones to make.
That's right. That's right.
Here's Peroni, the right fielder. RBI single his first time up. Swings at the first pitch and lines it into left field. Charging in, but not getting there is Jacob Kane. The ball falls in front of him for a base hit. So back-to-back runners have reached after 2 had been retired very quickly. Peroni with the single to left. Birch stops at second. Here's Luke Chalicki, the first baseman.
Yeah, Brapston got that ball up in that strike zone a little bit too high there.
And we're going to get a pitching change here for Springboro here in this bottom half of the second inning. So Brapston, the sophomore, is done. We'll tell you about the new Springboro pitcher when we come back. 2-1 the lead. Olentangy on top of Springboro. Pitching change for the Panthers with 2 on and 2 out. This is the OHSAA network. Our coverage of the state baseball tournament continues on the NFHS network and the OHSAA radio network, brought to you by Chocolate Milk.
You practice hard, you play hard, you're always reaching for your goals. You reach for the next point, the next yard, the next win. And after the game, reach for low-fat chocolate milk. It has the fluids to rehydrate you, the right mix of protein and carbs to refuel you, and the vitamins and minerals to help you build strong bones and bodies. Fuel up with chocolate milk. For more information, visit drink-milk.com.
How do you define strength? Is it physical? Or is it mental? Maybe it's both. Maybe it's whatever empowers a person to dig deeper, fight harder, and overcome obstacles that once seemed insurmountable. Discover how much stronger and more confident your children can be. Encourage them to participate in a sport when they go to high school.
This message presented by the Ohio High School Athletic Association and the Ohio Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Did you know that the OHSAA awards more than $160,000 in scholarships every year? Check out details at ohsaa.org.
We go to the new pitcher for Springboro. It's another right-hander coming on to get the baseball, Jacob Reinhardt. Reinhardt 6-2 on the season. Does have 3 saves. 3 of the 7 the Springboro staff has totaled. 43 1/3 innings worth of work. The right-hander a 1.77 earned run average. Tim Alcorn's down on the Olentangy dugout.
Yeah, actually, I've moved my way over.
Okay.
Yes, well, that's the humorous part of my story that I want to tell you. As I made my way over to the Springboro dugout, I'm just leaning up against the rail, and a guy comes up and says, sir. Well, I knew something was wrong as soon as somebody called me sir. And then they said, well, you're not allowed to stand here. Well, why not? Well, that's where Mark Pelfrey stands. Oh, well, I'm sorry. Those baseball guys, hey, I got my standing spot. You got to get out.
Exactly. Well, at least you weren't physically manhandled down there.
I think I would have been if I hadn't moved on my own.
I think so. Reinhardt to face Chilicki, and the first pitch in on the fist, and it has popped up. It will carry back foul territory about 3 rows up behind the Springboro dugout. Chilicki singled his first time up. No balls and a strike to the right-handed hitting first baseman, also a member of Wade Bartholomew's Olentangy football program. Reinhardt set, looks back at second. Time is called as Chilicki steps out.
This will be a little different look here for these Olentangy Brave hitters there. When they take a look at Reinhardt, he's got a little bit more speed. Probably a good decision to make the change for the Panthers here. We'll see what he can do in terms of bringing some heat here.
After the first 2 were set down, the next 2 reached and a pitching change. The next pitch to Chilicki is also fouled back into the seats. No balls and 2 strikes. Still one more championship game to go, Division 5. It was slated for a 7 o'clock start. I don't know that we'll reach that on time, as we are just in the bottom of the third here, 10 minutes till 6 for this Division 1 title game. 2 are on, 2 are out. Here's the pitch. This one is bounced up the third baseline. Diving stop by Veletien. Gets up and reaches out and tags the bag with the baseball for the force out. One heck of a play over there by that Division 1 commit, Ben Veletien, and it saves a run for Springboro. We go to the 4th inning, still a 2-1 lead for Olentangy. Let's pause for these messages from your local station. This is the OHSAA State Baseball Tournament.
Being a teenager is tough. There's the constant pressure to be liked.
Endless worrying about college.
Cyberbullying, high expectations, all the negativity.
There's no question. Being a teenager is tough. And what do Ohio's teens do when they want to block out the noise and clear their heads?
We play!
Research shows that teenagers who participate in high school sports have lower stress levels, more confidence, and greater self-esteem. And then there's the biggest benefit of all.
High school sports are fun.
Not just fun.
They're a lot of fun.
Encourage your teenagers to participate in a sport or activity when they go to high school. They'll stress less and smile more. And they'll be laying the foundation for a happier, healthier future.
This message presented by the Ohio High School Athletic Association and the Ohio Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
We head to the 4th of the Division I championship game, top half of that inning. Olentangy leads Springboro 2-1, 3-inning totals. Olentangy 2 runs on 5 hits, no errors. They have left 4 runners on for the Springboro Panthers. 1 run, 3 hits. They have committed 1 error, and they have left 1 runner on. Starting pitcher for Olentangy still on the mound, the senior right-hander Cameron Birch. Springboro has changed with now Jacob Reinhardt on in relief of Dylan Brabston. As we start this top half of the 4th inning, the right fielder Adam Smith, the second baseman Colton Mullenkamp, and the first baseman Drew Davis for the Springboro Panthers of head coach Mark Pelfrey. As we play here in the top of the 4th.
I would think that Coach Ryan Lucas of the Braves will have Birch on the watch list here, just kind of watching the number of pitches that he's thrown and see if he can stay out of trouble here in the 4th.
First delivery, sails wide of the plate, ball 1. As we start this inning, Birch, that was pitch number 84 for Cameron Birch. 1-0. Healthy rip at a fastball. Adam Smith comes up empty. 1 ball, 1 strike. From the right side of the plate is where Adam Smith swings the bat. He's got 26 runs batted in. Walked his first time up. Goes after the next pitch and chops it out towards the charging shortstop Carter Heyer, who fields it. Sidearm slings the throw on the run to first base. And 1 are out here in this top half of the 4th inning, and that takes us to the second baseman, Colton Mullenkamp.
Yeah, nice play by Heyer there. Kind of got stuck in his mitt there just for a split second, but made the transfer, made the throw.
Mullenkamp took a called third strike his first time up. Mullenkamp, bit of a closed stance at the plate, swings at the first pitch, got a piece of it. Held on to by the catcher, Caleb Rice. No balls and a strike. 0-1 delivery, misses wide of the plate. Both of these teams in their regional final game had to deal with unique circumstances before and during their games. Springboro, they had to wait over an hour because of distant lightning and thunder in their game in Oxford at Miami University's facility. 2 balls and a strike to Mullenkamp. The next pitch is fouled to the backstop. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Olentangy, meantime, on their way to their regional final game against conference rival Grove City in Lancaster in Fairfield County, about 30 minutes southeast of Columbus. Their bus broke down on the way to the game. Here's the 2-2 delivery. Struck him out with a pitch a little outside, swing and a miss. 2 are down. That'll bring up the first baseman, Drew Davis. And while they were waiting for the carpool caravan to take them to the game, the team decided to stop and have some lunch at a local Kentucky Fried Chicken restaurant in the suburb of Canal Winchester while they were waiting on help to arrive from parents and fans. Takes a village, doesn't it?
Yeah, sure does. But I think it tells you a little bit about Coach Ryan Lucas, just trying to keep the calm and let's don't get overly excited about this. I know from a coaching standpoint, I know in my days if we had something like that happen, I'd probably been going crazy, as you all know. But, you know, you got to keep calm because your players are looking at you like, hey, what are we going to do here?
1-0 pitch to Drew Davis, the first baseman. Misses outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Mark Pelfrey kind of did the same thing with his team. Just they had to sit and wait for a little over an hour for that weather to clear in Southwest Ohio. 2-0 pitch is popped up out into right field. Peroni is drifting back a couple of steps, measures, catches, and that takes care of Springboro here in the top half of inning number 4. For the second time in the game, they're retired in order. We go to the bottom of the 4th. 2-1, Olentangy leads Springboro. It's the Division I title game. Let's pause for these messages from the OHSAA. This is the state baseball tournament on the NFHS network and the OHSAA radio network, brought to you by Chocolate Milk.
You practice hard, you play hard. You're always reaching for your goals. You reach for the next point, the next yard, the next win. And after the game, reach for low-fat chocolate milk. It has the fluids to rehydrate you, the right mix of protein and carbs to refuel you, and the vitamins and minerals to help you build strong bones and bodies. Fuel up with chocolate milk. For more information, visit drink-milk.com.
Health Action Council is a member-driven, not-for-profit organization that provides employers with best practices for a healthy workforce through leadership, innovative services, and collaboration. Health Action Council works with employers to improve the quality, cost, and value of healthcare. The Ohio High School Athletic Association and Health Action Council invite all Ohio schools to join us for the Healthy Kids Step It Up Challenge. Find out details at healthykidsgo.org.
You are listening to the State Championship High School Baseball Tournament on the Ohio High School Athletic Association Radio Network.
Some stirring in the Olentangy bullpen between innings. Luke Chalicki has headed that way to start loosening up. He was the last hitter in the bottom of the 3rd, so Ryan Lucas sends him out to the right center field bullpen to start loosening up. For the Olentangy Braves here in the bottom of the 4th, the center fielder Caden Gebhardt, the catcher Caleb Rice, the third baseman Ty Walburn. 2-1 is the lead for the Olentangy Braves. School located in Lewis Center, Ohio. Gebhardt from the right side of the plate. His first time up, bounced into a fielder's choice. Jacob Reinhardt ready for his first full inning of work, and his first delivery is hit out in the air to left. Hits pretty good. Kane started in, now drifts back a couple of steps and easily makes the catch. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the bottom half of the fourth. Here's the catcher, Caleb Rice. Rice, fly ball to center, his first time up. One of the advantages of having a dugout reporter, Tim Alcorn, we can hear some of the coaches yelling, and they're telling their outfielders straight up, which means last time he hit it to center field. First delivery here is a fastball for a called strike. Now that Tim's out of the way of Mark Pelfrey down there, he can...
Yeah, I scampered real quick. I did take his spot when they were hitting because, of course, he was in the third base coaching box.
0-1 pitch is bounced slowly out towards second base where Mullenkamp gobbles it up. Low throw, again, dug out nicely over there by Drew Davis.
Yeah.
I'm standing right behind him. That's the second time he has really made a nice play here at first to bail out a throw.
2 are down. Here is the third baseman, Ty Wahlberg. He's the 9-hole hitter. He's 0 for 1. Bounced out to the shortstop, Brandon, his first time up. Swings the bat from the right side of the plate. Has those bright yellow batting gloves, almost a highlightish type color on those batting gloves. First pitch is strike.
Marty, you got to get something to match the shoes.
Uh-huh.
It's important. You know, fashion statements.
There you go. 0-1 pitch. A breaking ball that misses high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Happy Father's Day to all the dads and fathers listening today. And hope you're enjoying your day and hope you're being treated as you should be. 1-1 pitch is bounced slowly out towards the charging shortstop. Brandon makes the pickup. He throws to the first baseman, Davis. And for the second time in the game, Olentangy is set down in order. We move our way to the 5th in the Division I State Championship game, which Olentangy leads 2-1 over Springboro. Let's pause for these messages from your local station. This is the OHSAA State Baseball Tournament.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in Ohio. This is sportsmanship. School sports, it's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the Ohio High School Athletic Association and the Ohio Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
So when you get to the corner of Smith and Orchard, you're going to want to take a
You
left.
are not going to
then
believe
what you're
this.
Gonna do is turn
Marcy
into
and Brad just broke up,
and go past
and
the
apparently
first 3
she's
lights,
happy
and
about
then take
it.
the next left.
I don't really
Then
think
drive
she's
5 more
happy,
blocks,
but
and you should be
who am
there.
I to judge, right?
Park on the
Anyway,
right.
that's
I'll
what
see
I
you
heard
later
last
tonight.
night.
It's hard to concentrate on 2 things at once, like texting and driving. Stop the text, stop the wrecks. How will you stop texting and driving? Tell us at stoptextstopwrecks.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Olentangy leads Springboro 2-1 as we go to the 5th. But before we go there, let's pause 10 seconds. Let stations identify themselves on the great OHSAA radio network. Center fielder Vince Fortcamp, the bottom of the order, leads off the top of the 5th. He singled back up the middle his first time up and scored the one and only Springboro run in this game. Fortcamp hitting out of the 9-hole, .439 his batting average. Swings the bat from the right side of the plate, facing Cameron Birch for the second time. And he starts him off with a pitch in on the fist. It's hit out in the air towards right, near the line. Racing over is Peroni, but won't get to it. The ball will bounce foul and out of play. Springboro, the school located in Warren County, south of Dayton, a little north of Cincinnati. And that southwest part of this state of Ohio, there is some serious baseball played in that part of this state. Mentioned their win over Mason. Cincinnati Bowler spent most of the season ranked number 1. 0-1 pitch is a called strike. It's 0-2. That Mason team has won a state championship in the last few years. Seems about every school down there plays good high school baseball. 0-2 pitch is a called third strike. And Fort Camp out looking, one down. Back to the top. Here's Micah Brandon, the shortstop. Brandon 0 for 2, or 1 for 2 today, I apologize, with a fly ball to right and a single back up the middle in the third. Birch ready and the pitch on the way. It's a called strike. $764 boys, their 2025 adjusted enrollment. Next pitch to Micah Brandon, misses for a ball. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. So they are members of the Greater Western Ohio Conference. Next pitch is lofted into foul territory on the first base side and will carry back and out of play. That GWAC, as it's referred to in that part of the state, has a number of very good high school athletic programs. Centerville resides in that league. Springfield's high school football team has made numerous trips to the state championship game in Division I in recent years. Next pitch is a breaking ball, which misses. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. That league at one time, the Greater Western Ohio Conference, was a mammoth league of about 20 schools. Here's a ground ball bounced out towards third where Wilburn makes the pickup, and the throw over to the first baseman, Chalicki, in time for the second out of the inning.
Yeah, nice play. Good arm.
And right here in front of me, and he's stretched out completely. He's a terrific first baseman.
Very talented multi-sport star we mentioned earlier, member of that Olentangy football team. Here's Velatian, the third baseman. He has bounced back to the mound and taken a called third strike in his 2 plate appearances. 2 are down here, top of the 5th. He was after the first pitch, and he will line this one out towards second where it's caught on the run, ranging to his left, the glove-hand side, by the second baseman, Cooper Tracy, the manager's son on Father's Day, with a nice catch right there. And that takes care of Springboro here in the top half of the 5th. Cameron Birch has retired now 7 in a row. We go to the bottom of the 5th, 2-1. Olentangy leads Springboro. Let's pause for these messages from the OHSAA. This is the state baseball tournament on the NFHS Network and the OHSAA Radio Network, brought to you by Chocolate Milk.
Looking to launch a career in the skilled trades but don't know where to begin? Part-time service in the Ohio Army National Guard can help. You can kickstart your career by enlisting in one of our many trades-based jobs. Get paid to learn these skills and gain on-the-job training when you report to your unit 1 weekend a month or 2 weeks in the summer. To learn how the Guard can pay for your civilian trade certification, visit nationalguard.com/OH. Sponsored by the Ohio Army National Guard in coordination with the Ohio Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Here's to the ones who put in the work, the no days off, rise and grind warriors who live by the oath of my body is my temple. And when their temple needs to rebuild after a long workout, athletes of all types choose low-fat chocolate milk. It's delicious and contains the right mix of protein and carbs to help refuel exhausted muscles. Chocolate milk turns Motivation Monday into Flex Friday. Crush your goals with the help of a real recovery drink. Try it for yourself. Built with chocolate milk. The official beverage of high school sports is brought to you by the American Dairy Association Mideast.
How do you respect the game? Find out how at ohsaa.org/RTG.
Bottom of the 5th, 2-1, Olentangy leads Springboro in the Division I championship game. If you will permit me a personal moment, I want to make mention of a passing of an individual who, we talk about high school sports and the love of high school sports. My great friend Jim Scobie passed away earlier this morning, and Jim Scobie, I was talking about the Greater Western Ohio Conference and Springfield. Jim Scobie grew up, played, lived in Springfield, was a basketball coach and a player at Springfield South High School way back in the day. I can't think of anybody who has not impacted the lives in a positive way of everyone he has ever met. Jim Scobie passing away earlier this morning in Columbus at the age of 68 on a day where there's so much to celebrate with fathers. I will be the first to tell you my heart is absolutely broken right now. And Scobe, we're thinking of you, pal. And just for you, my friend, this is for you. We're making it happen.
Well said there, partner.
1 ball, no strikes, and the pitch to Carter Heyer is bounced down the third base side and foul. 1 ball and 1 strike. Heyer is 0 for 2 today, has lined out and bounced out in his 2 plate appearances.
Marty, I think we're at the stage of the game now, pitching-wise, where both these coaches are starting to kind of use a little bit of a chess match opportunity in terms of what they might want to do here as we approach these final 2 or 3 innings here. So it'll be interesting to see. We know from the standpoint of Olentangy, that young man, he was approaching 100 pitches. How long will he stick with him, Ryan Lucas will? I'm not sure.
2-1 pitch is lined slowly out towards the shortstop, Brandon. He's been very busy this afternoon, makes a clean pickup and throws out his opposite number for the second time in the game. In fact, Carter Heyer has lined out and then bounced out to the shortstop, Micah Brandon, in his 3 plate appearances. 1 down here in the bottom of the 5th. That brings up the left fielder, Rocco Bucci. Bucci today has singled, scored the first run for Olentangy way back in that bottom of the 1st inning, and bounced out to the mound in his second at-bat. Very talented left-handed hitting today, left fielder. He was on the mound yesterday down the road a piece at Thurman Munson Stadium. The 1-0's on the way. This one a check swing. A called strike on the outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. The right-hander Jacob Reinhardt on in relief for Springboro. 1-1 pitch is chopped foul on the first base side in front of that Springboro dugout. The Division I state championship game. Division 5 will put a wrap on the baseball season tonight. Here's the 1-2 pitch with 1 out. It is bounced out towards second base where Mullenkamp fields it waist high and lollipops the throw over to first base for the second out of the inning. I don't know that he perhaps intended to.
Got everybody's attention there for a second.
To arch that one over there like that, but hey, it still worked. 2 are out. Here's the second baseman, Cooper Tracy. That's one of those where the first baseman, Drew Davis, is just pleading for the baseball to get there. Tracy's 0 for 2. Swings at the first pitch, in tight in the hands, 0-1. Eight total hits in this game. 5 belong to the leading team, Olentangy. Reinhardt ready on the 0-1 delivery. Hit the outside corner for a called strike. It's quickly 0-2. The pitchers, Dave, you talked about the pitching staffs, but they've both kind of settled in here right now.
Yeah,
Reinhardt has retired 6 or 5 in a row and has a chance to go back-to-back 1, 2, 3 innings.
Yeah, he's kept the Brave hitters off balance, that's for sure.
0-2 pitch missed outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Reinhardt holds at the chest. The 1-2 on the way with 2 outs. Went off speed, swing and a miss. And that takes care of Cooper Tracy, and that takes care of Olentangy here in the bottom of the 5th. 6 in a row for Jacob Reinhardt. We go to the 6th, 2-1. Olentangy leads Springboro in our Division I state championship game. Let's pause for these messages from your local station. This is the OHSAA State Baseball Tournament.
Want to know what I like best about high school sports? I love watching my son run on the field. I love the fact that since he's been playing high school sports, he's making better decisions. And I love knowing that with the proper equipment, education, conditioning, and coaching, high school sports here in Ohio are safer than ever before. And that's something I really love.
This message presented by the Ohio High School Athletic Association and the Ohio Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association. They are role models and educators. Their work requires a great deal of time and energy for very little pay. Who are these unsung heroes?
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
The simple truth about education-based athletics in Ohio is this. Without a committed team of coaches and administrators, it just wouldn't be possible. School sports, they bring out the best in all of us. This message presented by the Ohio High School Athletic Association and the Ohio Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Cameron Birch's day on the mound for Olentangy is done. They're going to turn things over to the closer, Cooper Tracy. He had been playing second base. Kyle Troutman goes to second base for Olentangy now here in this top half of the 6th inning. Cooper Tracy, 87 to 90 mile an hour velocity, good off-speed stuff, according to head coach Ryan Lucas. And he's coming on to try to shut this down right here in this top of the 6th and top of the 7th inning if he can get the job done for Olentangy. Tim Alcorn has been patrolling the dugouts for us, and there may not be a sport, Tim, you do a lot, certainly with the NBA, but there may not be a sport where superstition plays such a big role as baseball.
Yeah, I've moved back over to the third base dugout, the Olentangy side, but it was interesting with Coach Pelfrey. We were having fun about that. Hey, this is where I stand. And it got me thinking about baseball guys are so superstitious, from the socks they wear to the caps. You don't find that in any other sport, but baseball, man, are they superstitious.
You'll see players and coaches not step on a baseline
right.
coming out for a pitching change or something. Yeah, it's remarkable, isn't it? Cooper Tracy on the season, making his 7th appearance. He's worked just 9 innings and starts off the left fielder and 3-hole hitter Jacob Kane with a fastball that misses inside, ball 1. Tracy again headed to Adrian College in Michigan. Next pitch is a strike, 1 ball, 1 strike. Next pitch outside for a ball. Cooper Tracy has allowed on the season 1 earned run. Here's the 2-1 delivery. This was in on a fist. It's popped up opposite field side, left field side. Wahlberg, the third baseman, backpedaling, reaches up and drops the baseball in fair territory. Kind of nonchalanted that one a little bit, and it hit the heel of his glove and rolls right down his arm onto the field. So the runner, Jacob Kane, reaches safely first base on the air on the third baseman, Wahlberg. We'll keep an eye and see what that play does. That should have been out number 1 right there, Dave Sacuti.
Yep, but if you're Cooper Tracy right now, you're a veteran-type player, you kind of settle it from the pitching mound right now. You kind of get the next play mentality. Let's get the batter here. Don't worry about what just happened.
First error of the game for Olentangy. So Tracy will take a moment off, steps back on top of the rubber. Here is Nick Hutchinson, the designated hitter. 0 for 1 with a walk and tried to check his swing on a pitch. A little tied up on the inside. Takes a strike, 0-1 to Hutchinson. The sun was not an issue. It's not a factor here today. That ball just simply popped out of his glove. Runner at first dives back, Jacob Kane. The 0-1 delivery, that one misses low, 1 ball, 1 strike. Good job by the catcher, Caleb Rice, keeping that ball in front of him.
Yeah, he sure did.
We saw that play a huge factor in the Division VI championship game earlier today in that bottom of the 7th inning. Berlin Highland roared back to win over Lake Center Christian. Here's the 1-1, a bunt, and it's a strike on the outside corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Hutchinson. Blake Patterson, the Springboro catcher, would be next. Tracy delivers the 1-2 pitch, off-speed high, 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2-1 is our score as we play here in the top of the 6th. This is the Division I state championship game. Olentangy leading, but the Springboro Panthers have their leadoff hitter on. Kane reaches on the air, but the cleanup hitter, Nick Hutchinson, just strikes out. Trying to chase a pitch a little wide of the zone. 1 down, here's the catcher, Patterson.
Yeah, Cooper Tracy brought that at 84 miles per hour. A little bit right on that edge of the corner there. Good pitch. It looks like the umpire and
going to have a pinch hitter here. Owen Vaughn will step to the plate.
Guys, a quick note here as we get the slight delay. Great piece of senior leadership by the shortstop, Olentangy, Carter Heyer. Went over to the sophomore third baseman who made the error, put his arm around him, said, "Hey, next play. Just get back there, keep going. Great senior leadership.
Absolutely. Good call on that, Tim. Owen Vaughn hitting .294, swings the bat from the right side of the plate, and Cooper Tracy starts him off with a pitch inside and misses for a ball. Because obviously the first thing on that young man's mind was to drop his head and start that, oh, why me? Swing and a miss at the next pitch, 1 ball, 1 strike. Owen Vaughn, .294, no homers. He's knocked in 8 runs this season. He's a senior. Right-handed hitter. Third baseman Walburn is in. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Cooper Tracy, he got a piece of it, in fact. The catcher hangs on to it, but that ball had some serious steam behind it. 83 mile an hour on that fastball.
Yeah, Tracy just continues just to kind of, give me the ball. I'm going to throw it as hard as I can. See if you can hit it.
1 down here in this top half of the 6th. A 2-1 lead for Olentangy. Here's the next pitch. Swing and a miss. 2 are down. And good piece of leadership as well there, too, if you will, out of Cooper Tracy. After that error, that could have rattled any other pitcher. He struck out the next 2 hitters. Here's Adam Smith. First pitch is fouled to the backstop netting. 0-1 to Adam Smith. He's walked and bounced out in his 2 plate appearances.
A little off-speed pitch there from Cooper Tracy again. You know, he's bringing the heat for about 3 or 4 pitches in a row. That time he kind of went with that off-speed curve.
0-1 delivery. High heat that time. Swing and a miss. Again, that just goes back to what Dave was mentioning a moment ago. That was just good old country hardball right there, an 86 mile an hour fastball. I'm going to throw it as hard as I can. Let's see what you can do with it. No balls and 2 strikes to Smith. The 0-2 on the way. That went in tight and turns him away a little bit. 1 ball, 2 strikes. One-run games this season. Springboro has been involved in 4 of those. They're 3-1. Olentangy 4-4 in their one-run games. 1-2 delivery, off-speed, line foul down the right field side. That pitch came in at a pedestrian 73 miles an hour combined or compared to everything else he's been throwing.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he's trying to bring the heat here in a hard way on this pitch right here. He'd love to get him to kind of take a look at it. Nothing there.
1-2 pitch struck him out. So after the error by Walburn, Cooper Tracy strikes out the side. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Still a 2-1 lead for Olentangy over Springboro in this tense Division I state championship game. Let's pause for these messages from the OHSAA. This is the state baseball tournament on the NFHS network and the OHSAA radio network, brought to you by Chocolate Milk.
You practice hard, you play hard, you're always reaching for your goals. You reach for the next point, the next yard, the next win. And after the game, reach for low-fat chocolate milk. It has the fluids to rehydrate you, the right mix of protein and carbs to refuel you, and the vitamins and minerals to help you build strong bones and bodies. Fuel up with chocolate milk. For more information, visit drink-milk.com.
You may think seatbelt laws are no big deal. Well, you couldn't be more wrong. Cops are cracking down day and night in the city, in the country, and all points in between. Make no mistake, if you don't buckle up, you will get caught and you will get a ticket. Even if you've gotten away with not buckling in the past, things are about to change. Cops are serious about seatbelt safety, so don't kid yourself. Buckle up every time or get a ticket. Click it or ticket. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Transportation.
School sports aren't just extracurricular. They are extra important. Find out more at ohsaa.org.
Bottom of the 6th, 2-1. Olentangy leads Springboro. Along with color analyst Dave Sakuti, our dugout reporter Tim Alcorn, the voice of your Cleveland Cavaliers. I'm Marty Bannister, Ryan Baker, the Marathon Man, our producer engineer, and we're glad to have you with us for what has been a very entertaining Division I state championship game, with Olentangy leading Springboro by the count of 2-1. Cameron Birch, Dominic Peroni, Luke Chalicki, the scheduled hitters for the Braves of Olentangy here in this bottom of the 6th.
Well, you know, Marty, we talked in the last 2 or 3 days. It comes down to some pitching, some timely hitting. And I think we're at that point. We're going to find out who's going to win the battle here. Is it going to be the pitching duel, or is it going to be some guys stepping up at the plate?
Jacob Reinhardt's first pitch, I think that kind of obviously slipped out of his hands and sails way over the head of Birch to the backstop. You could see Reinhardt reach down and immediately wipe his hand on his uniform pants leg. 1-0 the count. Birch has singled and reached via an error. Swings at the next pitch and pops it up. Foul territory to carry back into the seats. 1 ball, 1 strike.
You know, Coach Pelfrey talked early in the season about his pitching staff, and he had some concerns about it. And that was probably the major question he had about his entire team and the roster. But as they headed into the season and they started to develop, Marty, they really started to equip themselves well. And I think the spring kind of got them, once they got into some good weather, the pitching staff really started to develop.
1 ball, 2 strikes, the count to Cameron Birch. Reinhardt ready. The righty delivers. The pitch is in on the fist. This one is popped up. It'll carry back into the seats. And Dave, that's a great point what you said about the weather when it starts to warm up. I mean, we know what kind of spring it was here in the state of Ohio and the few days that it did warm up in the spring. But that's when we normally see baseball teams in this state start to play better, when you're able to get on. I mean, it just kind of goes hand in hand.
Yeah, and it's just such a small window, too, in terms of what you get in the spring season. And you just try to make the best of it. And how about the pitch right there to get that strikeout?
Birch unable to come away with the breaking ball, swings and misses, 1 down. And here is Peroni, the right fielder. Has 2 hits today, 2 of the 5 that Olentangy has recorded in the game. Blake Patterson, who was catching, has started to warm up out in the bullpen. First pitch to Peroni misses outside for a ball. Reinhardt ready. And the pitch is on the way. And this was just chopped out towards third, where it's fielded easy by Veletien. Nice leisurely throw over to first base. And 2 are out. And that'll bring up the first baseman, Luke Chalicki. So far in this game, Reinhardt has been impressive since coming on in relief. Reinhardt has struck out 2, is not allowed a hit. Has been very economical with his pitches. He has thrown just 23 here as Chalicki steps to the plate. A hit and a fielder's choice in his 2 plate appearances. Third baseman Veletien is in, and the first pitch here turns the hitter Chalicki out of the way, but it caught the inside corner for a called strike. 0-1. Dylan Brapson went 2 2/3, 5 hits, couple of runs earned, did not walk a batter, nor did he record a strikeout. 0-1 delivery. That one misses. It's 1 ball, 1 strike.
Came back with the same pitch there, just had that one out of the strike zone a little bit. Been working that off-speed slider.
The 1-1 is on the way from Reinhardt. Hit the outside corner for a called strike. It's 1-2. If you're thinking to the 7th inning for Springboro, think bottom third of the batting order. Reinhardt ready. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Struck him out. Reinhardt, very impressive. He's retired the last 10 Olentangy hitters he has faced. We go to the 7th in our Division I state championship game, which is a 1-run game. Olentangy leads Springboro 2-1. Let's pause for these messages from your local station. This is the OHSAA State Baseball Tournament.
Question. When you walk into the boardrooms of the most successful companies here in Ohio, who do you meet? Answer. Men and women who played high school sports. Education-based high school sports give us more than athletes we can root for. They give us leaders we can depend on. Question. So where will we find tomorrow's leaders? Answer. High school sports.
This message presented by the Ohio High School Athletic Association and the Ohio Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Did you just look down at your phone? You did it again, didn't you? You know, you're flying down the road in a 3-ton hunk of steel, and a text takes your eyes off the road for an average of 5 seconds. At 55 miles per hour, that's long enough to travel the length of a football field and cause some serious damage. Turn it off. Trust me, whatever it is, you'll live.
Learn more at stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
You know, Marty, it's always impressive when you see your seniors step up. And Drew Davis, number 8 for Springboro, pulled his team together before they even got close to walking into the dugout. Pulled them all together for about 45 seconds here in the last minute or so. Just had a nice chat with them. Said, guys, this is it. We've worked so hard to get to this point. Let's try to find a way to get this done.
Colton Mullenkamp, the aforementioned Drew Davis, and the center fielder Vince Fortcamp, the scheduled hitters off of Olentangy closer Cooper Tracy, who's been impressive in his own right. He's retired 6 of the 7 hitters he has faced, and including striking out the side in the 6th inning after an error allowed the first runner to reach. Here's Mullenkamp. Here's Tracy. The first pitch misses low for a ball. We're in the top of the 7th of the Division I state championship game. Olentangy leading 2-1. Trying to win the school's first ever baseball championship. 1-0 pitch. That one misses. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Both bullpens quiet now. There'd been a lot of activity out there. Both have emptied. Here's Tracy's 2-0 pitch. That one in tight and has the hitter Mullenkamp turning out of the way. 3 balls and no strikes. Mullenkamp has taken a called third strike and struck out swinging. Tracy ready. The 3-0 pitch is a called strike. 3-1. Tracy ready, the 3-1 pitch. Hit the outside corner, and just like that, he's battled back to run the count full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Right-hander working very quickly. The payoff pitch is bounced out towards second. Troutman, his first opportunity, gets the head-high bounce and throws out Colton Mullenkamp for the first out in the top half of the 7th inning. 1 down, and here is Drew Davis, the first baseman.
Yeah, got a friendly bounce there. Kind of came right up to him there. Easy throw there in the first for that first out. Always the big out. Top of the 7, get that first one.
First opportunity for Troutman, who came in when Tracy came to the mound. He came in at second base. Davis is 0 for 2 today. A fly ball to center, a fly ball to right. Tracy ready, and the first pitch to Davis is a called strike on the inside corner.
Little spitter came in there about 70 miles an hour, right on the inside corner.
The 0-1 on the way to Davis. That one misses low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Both these teams winning semifinals yesterday at Thurman Munson Stadium in Canton. Playing here today at Canal Park for the Division I championship. Next pitch lined out to the shortstop higher and a couple of bounces. Sidearm sling throw right on the money to the first baseman, Chalicki. And Springboro's down to their final out. 2 are down after the 6-3 ground out. And here is the center fielder, Vince Fortcamp. He's 1 for 2 today. Singled up the middle his first time up and scored the only Springboro run. Meeting at the mound. Breaks up quickly. Olentangy fans down to our left. Rises 1. The Braves trying to win a state championship. Would be the 2nd title in the Olentangy district. Back in the fall, the Liberty School won the Division I football championship. And Olentangy trying to win a baseball championship. Pitch is low. Of course, Orange, success in basketball. First time ever. As Dave talked about earlier, strike 1 to Fortcamp. The 0-1 on the way is chopped foul at the plate. Springboro's down to their final strike.
Well, the adrenaline is rushing through Cooper Tracy's body right now.
Gets a new baseball, steps back off the rubber, climbs back on top. No balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs. Top of the 7th. The pitch is fouled to the backstop. The count holds. No balls and 2 strikes. Tracy again gets a new ball. Toes the rubber. Quickly back on top. Again, brings the 0-2 to the plate. This one is bounced foul into the facing of the Olentangy dugout on the third base side. The Olentangy dugout ready to erupt. The fans are ready. 2-1 the score. Olentangy on top. Vince Fortcamp, the 9-hole hitter. Here's the pitch. It is a strike 3 swinging. Olentangy is your Division I baseball state champion. The Braves dog pile on top of one another just off of the pitching mound between the third baseline and the mound. The coaches jumping on top as well, too. Olentangy wins the Division I State Baseball Championship in a thriller here at Canal Park in Akron. They edge Springboro by the final of 2-1. Pitching and defense, the story of this title game, and Olentangy wins the school's first baseball state championship. Again, the final in our Division I title game, Olentangy 2, Springboro 1. Our post-game celebration and interviews coming up next. But first, we'll pause for these messages from the OHSAA. This is the state baseball tournament on the NFHS Network and the OHSAA Radio Network, brought to you by Chocolate Milk.
Looking to launch a career in the skilled trades but don't know where to begin? Part-time service in the Ohio Army National Guard can help. You can kickstart your career by enlisting in one of our many trades-based jobs. Get paid to learn these skills and gain on-the-job training when you report to your unit 1 weekend a month or 2 weeks in the summer. To learn how the Guard can pay for your civilian trade certification, visit nationalguard.com/OH. Sponsored by the Ohio Army National Guard in coordination with the Ohio Association of Broadcasters and this station.
You practice hard, you play hard, you're always reaching for your goals. You reach for the next point, the next yard, the next win. And after the game, reach for low-fat chocolate milk. It has the fluids to rehydrate you, the right mix of protein and carbs to refuel you, and the vitamins and minerals to help you build strong bones and bodies. Fuel up with chocolate milk. For more information, visit drink-milk.com.
Hi, I'm Anthony Munoz. I didn't make it into the Pro Football Hall of Fame by letting drugs and alcohol affect my ability to play. I brought my A game every time, and that's what you should do when sharing the road. That means never getting behind the wheel under the influence and wearing your seatbelt, because it's always the best defense against a drunk driver. So whether you're driving around town or to the Pro Football Hall of Fame, never let impaired driving take you out of the game.
This message brought to you by the Ohio Department of Public Safety.
When we respect the game, we all have a part to play to make school sports a fun and safe place for kids. Find out more at ohsaa.org/RTG.
Your Division I champion in baseball in the state of Ohio, the Olentangy Braves from Lewis Center in Delaware County, north of Columbus. They win an absolute thriller here today in this Division I title game as they knock off Springboro by the final of 2-1 here at Canal Park in downtown Akron. Back along with Dave Zacuti in the booth, Tim Alcorn down on the field. I'm Marty Bannister. Ryan Baker's our producer engineer. And it is worth mentioning, certainly the moment shines on Olentangy right now, but that Olentangy district this year, Liberty wins in football and girls lacrosse, state champions. The Orange boys team wins the state basketball title in Division I, and now Olentangy wins the state baseball championship in Division I. Very impressive.
Yeah, and you know the commitment that you really give to the community and parents. They invested in their kids, and obviously it's paid off.
In a moment, we'll head down to Tim Alcorn, who's trying to corral Victoria's head coach Ryan Lucas right now. The teams are shaking hands, and let's go down to Tim Alcorn right now. Tim?
Yeah, I've got Ryan right now. Coach, lucky 13. Your 13th year as the head coach, and first time ever to bring a team to the Final Four, and you take the whole chilada. Just your thoughts on watching this team celebrate.
Just an unbelievable experience for our kids. This whole weekend has been just tremendous. The OHSAA and the Coaches Association put on a great elite thing like they always do, tournament like they always do. But you got to give our kids credit, man. They earned it. They earned it. They earned it.
Ryan, before the ball game, I mentioned your kids were so confident before the game. You didn't see any angst. You didn't see anxiety. They were excited. They felt they earned this opportunity, and they capitalized on it.
Well, when we came here, we expected to win 2 games. That was our mindset. So our kids we've won 16 in a row. So our kids are very confident right now, and I wish we could play 10 more games.
Well, you won the last one.
I just need a day off.
We all do. Coach, pitching and defense. I mean, coaches talk about it at the big league level. Managers talk about it. Pitching and defense is what brought home a state title to Olentangy.
Oh, there's no doubt. And our pitching has been elite the last probably 4 weeks. And our team defense is really good. We catch everything. So I thought we'd hit a little bit better because we've been hot at the plate, but we did enough to win the championship.
I want to let you go celebrate with your kids, but real quick, the fan support behind this third base dugout. Give a shout out to the folks that have made this trip.
You know what? From day one, so on Friday when we did our send-off, it was elite with our Diamond Club and our administration and our parents and everybody. And then when we came to both of these games, we have fans. I mean, this place is packed with Braves, and it's just an unbelievable environment. And we did it.
There you go. Congratulations. Go celebrate.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Ryan Lucas, first ever state championship for Olentangy in baseball. And I'll tell you what, he's relieved, but he's thrilled.
I love that. I wish we could play 10 more games, but I need a day off.
Right.
The handing out of the runner-up medals being conducted right now on the first base side, Springboro, and let's certainly give them their props as well, too. What a tremendous season Mark Pelfrey's team has. They finished with a mark of 25-8, coming up a run short in the state championship game. And as we talked about during the broadcast, Dave Sakuti, they navigated their way through one of the more treacherous areas of the state in high school baseball, that Southwest District.
Yeah, people don't realize how difficult it is to get through that district. And then, of course, you got regional play those 2 games. And, of course, you come to the state championship and make it to the final game. Nothing to be ashamed of in terms of what you've accomplished, but I think Coach Pelfrey's done a wonderful job with this team. And we talked about development is so important. The young players out there, those youth travel programs, they're looking up to these kids trying to figure out, how can I get to that point?
OHSA Executive Director Doug Ute is on the field. He has the microphone, and he'll hand the Division I runner-up trophy to the Panthers from Springboro High School.
Doug Ute.
Coach Pelfrey, you've talked a lot over the last couple of weeks about losing 11 seniors last year, 5 of which were all conference players, and about the growth of your seniors, this year's senior class and their leadership, and about just playing together. You have 12 seniors in this group?
14 actually.
14 actually in this group. Okay, so this group started off slow. The leadership that Coach talked about, you turned around, you won 16 of your last 19 games. You're league champs. You grinded your way through a very tough region, beating last year's state champion, Mason, in a regional final. Yesterday, you became the second school in second team history to play in a state semifinal game. And today, you became the first team in the history of school to play in a state baseball championship game. I'm joined by Emily Mason, our Director of Sport Management for Baseball at the OHSAA, and on behalf of our member schools, the staff at the OHSAA, and our Board of Directors, it's our pleasure to present Springboro Baseball with a 2025 state championship runner-up trophy. Congratulations.
And again, the final score in the Division I state championship game, Olentangy defeats Springboro by the count of 2-1. Stay with us. More coming up. We'll pause for these messages from your local station. This is the OHSAA State Baseball Tournament.
I can't believe we have to make this commercial.
It's ridiculous.
You'll think it's ridiculous too. Listen to this.
This commercial is about, well, it's about parents being rude at high school athletic events.
Ridiculous, right?
It gets worse. Studies show more than 75% of new high school officials are quitting because of bad adult behavior.
So now there's a shortage of refs here in Ohio, in almost all sports.
No officials means no more games.
Is that what you want for us?
Come on, parents.
It's time to grow up.
Cheer for your team.
Be proud of your children.
But stop being so ridiculous.
And don't make us run another commercial.
Because we will.
This message presented by the Ohio High School Athletic Association and the Ohio Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association, reminding you to always practice good sportsmanship.
I can't believe he found them.
He seems sorry.
We very clearly told him not to look up there.
I'm honestly impressed that he was able to do it.
Right? What, did he balance on that big chair? Or...
Yeah, I mean, I guess he'll just know what his gifts are this year.
I really thought we had hidden them well.
If they can find their presents, they can find a gun. 911, what is your emergency? Every day, 8 kids and teens are unintentionally killed or injured by loaded and unlocked guns. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and End Family Fire.
What do basketball, choir, drama club, and marching band all have in common? They're all high school activities that offer learning opportunities not necessarily found in the classroom. They take up just a fraction of a typical Ohio high school's budget, and they go a long way to giving young people the tools they need to thrive. High school activities, they're more than extracurricular. They're extra important, too. This message presented by the Ohio High School Athletic Association and the Ohio Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Winning state championships in the Olentangy local school district is starting to become old hat. This time it's Olentangy with a state championship in Division I as they win the baseball crown, defeating Springboro by the final of 2-1. This broadcast is a presentation of the OHSAA radio network and the NFHS network. Any commercial use, retransmission, or distribution without the express written consent of the OHSAA and the NFHS is strictly prohibited. Of course, in other words, that means do not do it. The announcers and production staff for this game were selected by the OHSAA. For more information, log on to the OHSAA radio network at www.ohsaa.org. We'd like to be back to Canal Park in downtown Akron, where today in this Division I title game, Olentangy defeats Springboro 2-1. The Braves put a crooked number on the board in the bottom of the first. Their pitching and defense made that stand up, and they come away with the victory, eliminating a team that hit .341 as a team on the season to just 3 hits in this game. And they come away with the victory again by the final of 2-1. And Dave Sakuti, it's a refrain that is certainly worth repeating, that pitching and defense, but you also have to get timely hits. And I thought it was impressive the way Olentangy made those 2 runs in the bottom of the first stand up throughout the game.
Yeah, once you get to that lead early and you can hang on, that's so important. But, Marty, we talked, there's something about this Olentangy Brave team. They were destined to win this state title. They had played so well here as of late. Their pitching, as Ryan Lucas said, was elite the last 4 weeks. And they just were destined. It was a mission they were on to win 2 games here in Akron, and they got it done.
The presentation of the Division I state championship trophy will be done by the executive assistant and the executive director of our radio network, the communications director, Tim Street.
I've seen many games over the years at Braves Field, and I can't wait till the first game I go to next year when I get to walk by that sign that says 2025 state champs. Coach Lucas, I've had a chance to see you in action, be a part of your program for many years, to see how you run your program, how you work with these student athletes. And it started a long time for you guys. 10, 12 years ago, you probably put on the first baseball uniform for the first time, OYAA. Mine did too. And now after all those games, all those practices, you're going home with your school's first baseball state championship. Back in the fall, we gave a football state championship to Liberty. In the winter, we gave a basketball state championship to Orange. And today, this means that Olentangy Local School District is the first district in our history to win a football, basketball, and baseball championship in the same year. This is Doug Ude, Executive Director of the OHSAA. On behalf of our schools, our board, our staff, it's my privilege to give Olentangy the 2025 Division I Baseball State Championship.
2-1 again, the final. Olentangy beats Springboro in the Division I championship game. Tim Alcorn on the field next when we come back. Let's pause for these messages from the OHSAA. This is the state baseball tournament on the NFHS Network and the OHSAA Radio Network, brought to you by Chocolate Milk.
Telhio Credit Union knows the financial playing field is constantly changing, so we're here to make sure you are always one step ahead. A trusted partner since 1934, Telhio has been providing financial services to communities throughout Ohio and is dedicated to serving its members as a not-for-profit institution. Telhio is committed to giving back to the community by offering financial education, sponsoring local events, and supporting charitable organizations. At Telhio, we take banking personally. Visit us at telhio.org.
Here's to the ones who put in the work, the no days off, rise and grind warriors who live by the oath of my body is my temple. And when their temple needs to rebuild after a long workout, athletes of all types choose low-fat chocolate milk. It's delicious and contains the right mix of protein and carbs to help refuel exhausted muscles. Chocolate milk turns Motivation Monday into Flex Friday. Crush your goals with the help of a real recovery drink. Try it for yourself. Built with chocolate milk. The official beverage of high school sports is brought to you by the American Dairy Association Mideast.
Max Preps is your source for high school sports, from schedules to stats, live scores, rosters, video, and photos. Max Preps has it all. And when you download the Max Preps app, you can add your favorite teams and get notified on the go. Have your own personalized scoreboards and stay updated on the latest news surrounding your high school team. As a proud partner of the Ohio High School Athletic Association, Max Preps wishes every student, athlete, and coach out there a very successful season.
You're listening to the State Championship High School Baseball Tournament on the Ohio High School Athletic Association Radio Network.
2-1 again, the final score in the Division I state championship game as Olentangy defeats Springboro here today at Canal Park in downtown Akron. The Braves right now just off the third baseline getting their team photo right now. Champions in the state of Ohio. One more to go, Division 5. That game will be between Graham Local from St. Paris in Champaign County and Apple Creek Waynedale. That's a powerhouse program, Waynedale. The Golden Bears will play for a state championship. Minster has already won a title. Highland has won a title. Olentangy wins today. Licking Valley in impressive fashion last night wins. And let's head down to the field now where Tim Alcorn is with Cameron Birch.
Yeah, Cameron Birch, 5 sterling innings, and so often in baseball and state final baseball you hear pitching and defense. Cam, first of all, congratulations. First ever state championship for Olentangy. A little bit about how teammates are feeling right now.
Thank you. Everyone has said it doesn't feel real. We believed it since the start of the season. We were 8-6 at one point. But we knew what this team was capable of. Everyone did. The coaches did. The players did. It's just we believed it all the way down deep, and we're able to come through.
When you in the top of the second, you had a 2-0 lead, but did you think, well, 2 runs is going to stand up here? I mean, you had to really perform on that hill. You first to close things out, and behind you there was some serious flash.
Yes, sir. There were some really good plays made. I did not think 2 runs was going to do it, especially with a team like Springboro, really good baseball team. Yeah, just shout out to everyone in the field and Cooper for coming in and closing it.
I want to ask you about taking the hill in the first inning.
Yes, sir.
I mean, here you are, state championship game, state title on the line, first ever for your high school. Is that something that you've dreamed about? What's going through your mind as you take the mound to start the game?
Taking the mound to start the game, I mean, I knew I needed to perform. I knew it was a big moment for me, my team, the school, just everything. But I also knew that I was prepared. And I've been preparing my whole life for a moment like this, and I'm just blessed to be able to have a moment to start on a day like this.
Cam, one final question for you. I know you want to celebrate with fans and teammates, but as I looked into the dugout before the game, you guys were relaxed. You're slapping 5s. I mean, it was a team that definitely had a feeling of, we're here to win this thing. I didn't see any angst or any anxiety about it.
Yes, the mentality the whole year, like I said, it was, we're going to win the state championship. We believed it. We knew it was going to be a fight for many games, especially this game with a good team like Springboro. But yeah, we just believed it a little more and executed when we needed to execute. Just super proud of our team.
Well, you'll be known forever as the winning pitcher in Olentangy's first ever state championship. You'll carry that with you for the rest of your life.
Yes,
Brilliant performance on the hill. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Cam down here simply on the mound in those 5 innings that he worked to get the win.
Brother Alcorn, great job down there, man. Good working with you, my friend. I know you're tired, but we appreciate everything you did over these last few days. So always a pleasure working with Tim Alcorn, the voice of the Cleveland Cavaliers, and for my broadcast partner, Dave Sacuti, as well, too. We saw a lot of great baseball over these last 4 days here in Akron.
Yeah, a lot of fun. And as you mentioned, there's one more to go here this evening, but that was a good one. You want close games, obviously. It's good for us. It's good for the fans, but congratulations to Olentangy, the Braves.
And again, they knock off Springboro in our Division I championship game by the final of 2-1. Still one more game to go as Graham Local will take on Apple Creek Waynedale. That one will start a little bit after 7 o'clock tonight here at Canal Park in Akron. Once again, our final score in the Division I state championship game, Olentangy edges Springboro 2-1. We invite you to tune back in a little bit after 7 o'clock for our coverage of the Division V title game, Waynedale and Graham Local from St. Paris battle for our final championship, the Division V crown. On behalf of OHSAA Executive Director Doug Hughes, Radio Network Executive Producer Tim Street, our on-site producer, we couldn't do any of this, and I mean any of it, without the efforts of Ryan Baker and my broadcast partners Tim Alcorn and Dave Sacuti. I'm Marty Bannister, once again saying congratulations to the Braves from Olentangy, the 2025 Division I baseball state champions in Ohio. The preceding broadcast has been a presentation of the NFHS Network and the State OHSAA Radio Network, brought to you by Chocolate Milk.